G'day everyone, and welcome along to the first Technic Tuesday. Just thought do some building on a Tuesday, and particularly some of the Technic stuff. Been wanting to get through that for a little bit. I thought this might be a good way of doing that. Hope that everyone is well. And yes, Mr. Hinkle, I believe that you're first. So we have, I think, two artists along here talking about Technic or being involved with Technic. Maybe there's something wrong with that. Yeah, I just wanted to do something a little bit informal and things like that. And I think at some stage, somebody asked me what I guess my favorite sort of Lego was and things like that. And surprisingly enough, or at least I wasn't too sure what it was. But then it's sort of like, what do you have the most of? And it's like having a look through it. It's like, no, actually, most of it's kind of like Technic. So, and welcome along to Mr. Blueberry Toys. Good to have you in as well. So, yeah, I just sort of thought start off with this is actually one of the sets which I had when I was a kid. This isn't the actual original one, the ones in Australia, but about a year ago I managed to pick it up from eBay for I think it was like £20 or something. So not that expensive. Although having said that, since coronavirus now, I think if you're trying to get these, you're looking at least 40. It's like all doubled and gone crazy. So it was very much one of those sorts of things when we were kids. We'd have like maybe once a year we might get a medium-sized Lego or something like that. So this was one which I loved to death and built and overbuilt. And then, funnily enough, I thought I actually managed to then pick this one up about a year ago, which is almost like the current version of it because it's got a forklift, and the secondary B model is a tow truck, which is exactly the same as this one. So it's got a forklift, and the secondary B model is a tow truck. So I thought it'd be interesting to go through and build them and then sort of compare them, and just sort of see the differences, and also just generally Technic in general. I know some people sort of love it and hate it. It's kind of like Marmite, can do well with it or not. And welcome along to Creativity. It's great to have you in as well. And it's a sort of thing too, where I just want to have this something fun, a little bit informal. So if anybody out there wants to jump on, talk Technic, things of that nature, just let me know in the chat. I can either drop the link in the chat or send out an invite or something like that. So that's where we're at. And then just sort of going through this is interesting. Going, as a kid, knew the Technic stuff quite well. And then once I came back out of a dark age, particularly the son wanted something and got a medium-sized current Technic set. I remember building that and just going, I have no idea what I'm doing with this stuff because it had all changed. These ones were all very much brick built based, and then I think it was in the mid 90s they went across to more of the beams and a lot more pins and all the rest of it. So it was interesting. There was enough there for you to go, I kind of recognize what this is, but then at the same time, not having a clue how it worked. And the other thing I used to also love about these old style boxes is they're more window frame, and you'd open them up, and the actual trays and everything inside allowed you to store the pieces properly. I'm not sure if that's showing up properly. The light there, maybe. So there's like a section for wheels and section for your gears and pneumatics and everything like that. Whereas a lot of the boxes these days, you just get them and they're just purely boxes. They contain the stuff, and most of the time you just throw it out. So I'm also hoping that all the bits are here because I haven't really bothered to check. They kind of look like it. So you'd have your trays and another little sheeting over the top, your wheels and everything. Then tray lifts up, all your instructions underneath. And this one still has one of the original promo books in it, and it's nice and crisp. Like you can tell, it's hardly ever actually been opened. Certainly spend a lot of time looking at that and just wondering about what could get next. And even the books are really quite thin. I think there's only, what is it, when we look at this, it's something like 19 pages, and that's got 2 B models and a variation for another mechanical thing you can have if you put a motor on it. So I think there's only, like, to build the forklift, there's like 20 steps. Whereas I think these days, if you have 20 steps for a Technic, you may have just put together the base and a few pins. Creativity, doing a bit nostalgic now. I haven't seen these boxes since my childhood. Yeah, it's you certainly once you've seen them, you remember them. And it's kind of funny because I think when we're always dealing with Lego and things, like, you're always sorting and things like this, and this is kind of like a preamble to that, making sure that you kind of would. And then the old style wheels, which has these what would be grey centers, so not the light bluish grey, the actual greys, and then these rubbery wheels. Not sure how well that shows up there. So I think, yeah, might just sort of start building and sort of see where we end up with there. How's everybody's evening going? Are people coming along? Are we kind of interested in Technic, or you just saw the notification, thought, that could be interesting? And certainly the old instruction books, always very construction-y, with the black and yellow warning stripe things down the side. Yeah, wow. And the old school instructions, which I don't think they're doing them on computer at this stage. So I think it was very much they would have the model built at every single step and lie it out on a table or something like that, and then somebody would come along with a pencil and paper and go to each one and draw it out. Mr. I'm here from that. Don't even like Lego at all. Yeah, I would imagine your recent escapades have possibly put you in a particular frame of mind with regards to that. I'm just sort of looking at these and wondering, it's like, given how short it is it like, if I was to build one of the other standard Technics today, I know it would take up, a good hour and a half, 2 hours, whereas this, I don't know, providing all the parts are here, might only take half hours. And I'm guessing that grey color is actually black, which is another thing which is a little bit more on the difficult side to see. Creativity, I only just discovered your channel, various style bricks and interest in Technic. Oh, great. Excellent. Thanks for coming on. Appreciate that. And Mr. Blueberry Toys, some emoticons there. And Kevin is how am I going to say that? AFOL me? Yeah, AFOL me? AFO me, I think work out better. Adult fan of Matt Older. Yeah, AFO me. For me, or something like that. I suppose with hindsight, I probably should have washed some of these pieces because they are looking like they are. What is this? I think this set was released in, I want to say 1984. So be a good few years ago now. and probably not showing up well on camera, but yeah, there, that was clear. It's obviously yellowed. It's not showing up as much as what it actually has. It looks like we've had a few more people come along, so I know hopefully I won't repeat this too much tonight, but that's the length 10. But just the idea of these is just to build some techniques, talk a little bit of technique and things like that. I actually had this idea probably about a year or so ago, particularly once I started getting all the vintage ones. It might be over a year now, probably more like 18 months. Because prior to COVID, you could pick up these vintage sets for, well, I did this one book, box, everything like that. It was like £20. Most of them you could get between 10 and 20 for the smaller ones, like this sort of size. Not so much some of the bigger ones. So, and it was just very much that thing. There was so many sets there, which is sort of like things that you never had as a kid but always wanted. So now actually getting a bit of a chance to go back and revisit them. And I think the other thing is that the LEGO Technic these days has become immensely complicated. And I'm still wondering whether that's a good thing or a bad thing. Because you build some of those models and they're just so complicated that even trying to figure out what some of the gears and the ratios and all that are doing, it's just crazy. Which for anybody who's been watching for a little while, I had that little issue with the that red rough terrain crane. At step, I think it was about 42 or something. I felt a piece wasn't right. There was something not quite right. When I got to about step 500, it then turned out that, yeah, there was one little holder gear thing which hadn't been put in place. To be fair, the set didn't actually have it. When I then tried to turn the boom on, the whole top section spun around like it was possessed or something. I think there's a short on my channel. So then it took me, I think, about another 2 hours to figure out what was wrong. And then about as much time again to figuring out what was wrong. So like, okay, so there's the bit there which is missing. Now to get in at that section, I'm going to have to take a massive amount of this apart and then put it back together. And creativity, the new ones seem less relaxing to make. Yeah, I think with the new ones, from what I've seen and experienced, it usually starts off with the bottom part and you build up the gearbox, which you have to be really paying attention to, which could be a really bad idea to stream. Because if you miss one little gear or something like that, sometimes you might pick it up later on when you're trying to put other pieces together and the connection's not there. Other times you might completely miss it and then have to come back and try and figure it out much, much later. Let's get that lined up a bit better. And still not quite. But it's certainly, once you get them built, because they do have so much functions and everything to them, it's quite satisfying when they work properly. Yeah, qualifications and everything. And that was the other thing. I was looking at a little while ago. Beyond the Brick did one of their, the top 10 largest Technic sets. Just watching it, and it's like, oh, I have that one, never built it. The next one came up, number 9. It's like, oh, I have that one, never built it. And the next one came up, it's like, oh, I have that one, never built it. I eventually got through all the way through the list, and of the top 10 LEGO largest Technic sets, I'd have 9 of them, and 6 of them were never built. So certainly one of the things which I wanted to possibly do with this stream was to start getting through those, build them out. Yeah, due to the level of complexity, I'm still not sure if that's a good idea to do that on stream. But it's certainly a thought, at least. Creativity, I also made a mistake with the red crane. My wheels were blocking because of that. Didn't bother to rebuild it. Yeah, that becomes a thing. It's sort of like, if I'm going to leave this on display, nobody's going to notice the mistake. But I'll notice it. And, can I live with it? Yeah, it's that feeling of, this isn't working. Could I be bothered to go through and make it work? Does it matter? And then I already have a consultation with an e-commerce copyright attorney tomorrow afternoon, already 200 in just for a 30-minute meeting. Yeah. We've had to recently look at some solicitors because of issues that we've been having and other things, and it's just such a pain. It's like, you're right, but even though you're right, to enforce it and push it through, you have to spend X amount, and even then, you won't necessarily recoup it. And a lot of times, it's just other people just taking advantage and being idiots. It's just really annoying, put it that way. But I hope it goes well, Kevin, with that. I think if you can also too, because you're in, I think you're in Connecticut or something like that. So I don't know how the states work. I have a funny feeling that your laws are mostly set at a state level with a few federal ones over the top. Possibly if you can have a little bit of research yourself, just so that you can ask a few questions or at least have an approach, because sometimes find with solicitors they may favor a particular way or something like that, and it's not until you kind of like really challenge them, say, well, what about X, Y, and Z? Ooh, that sounds like it's stuck in there. They'll start to consider things. It's always like, well, this is what the position is, but to actually enforce a position, this is what you have to go through, and that's the expense. Do you really need to do that? And creativity, asking why Kevin needs that. And Kevin giving a bit of a reason. Yeah. Wow, that feels like it hasn't come out of there in about 30 years. I've seen recently some people been taking some sets apart, even recent ones like from a couple of years ago, and the reddish brown plates are cracking really badly. And with hindsight, I probably actually didn't need to take that out. It's only step forward, don't worry. Already confusing myself. Excuse me. It's always interesting going back and looking at old instructions. Because these days you might only have one or two pieces get applied at a time, whereas this is sort of like, okay, you've got 10. And that goes under there, and yeah, the way that said that went was not even close to there. See if that's a bit of a try. What are you up to at the moment, Kevin? Are you? I imagine it's coming up to about 5 in the afternoon where you are. Given that reprieve from homeschooling, makes such a difference when the kids get through their work for the day. It's like, oh, I can finally go and do what I need to be doing. And then about 2 minutes into that, you can hear them in the background fighting with each other. It's like, no, you can't. Okay, time to make food for the kids. They're starting to circle like vultures. No worries, Kevin. Have a good one. Thanks for popping on by, and hope your session with your attorney tomorrow is fruitful and productive. And you're able to get a result to move forward. Okay, and then we got lengths of these pneumatic cables. In these ones, everything is done as a proper length. Possibly should have tested this out. Goes into there. Can go into there a little bit. It's also nice to see the evolution of Technic over the years. As they've made things more necessarily say, oh, it's definitely more complicated, but I think more articulated or more specialized pieces, or more variety to the pieces, means that they can do some really interesting and funky stuff. Not just, maybe it's just because of the early vehicles were generally always construction vehicles, so associate Technic a lot more with construction. Even recently, seeing some stuff, you've seen like the catamaran. It's like, I know it's got the Technic label on it, but that's not how I see Technic. It's not a construction vehicle. Although these days they obviously have, just about everything, particularly the supercars, so the Porsches, the Porsche, Bugatti, and the Lamborghini. 2 of those. Which built the Porsche, when was it, last month? And have the Bugatti and Lamborghini in their boxes ready to go. So I did want to kind of do those ones in order. So otherwise, if you start off with the Lamborghini, you'll have the most complicated gearbox and everything, and then as you go through the earlier models, it probably gets a tiny bit more simplistic. Like even the black friction pins feel a little bit different. They feel a little bit thicker. There's just a little bit more plastic there with them. And a couple of these 8cm pipes, I'm guessing. Will you build the stream of the supercars? Yeah, I was planning to. It's just a matter of how to go about that, because usually each of them take about 15 to 20 hours to do. So, yeah, if I was to do that each week, this stream, I don't know how long I'll go for, maybe 3 hours, something like that. So even if it was 3 hours and it's a 15-hour build, it'll take like 5 weeks. So yeah, just have to. That's kind of why I also sort of looked at doing this slot, so then I can go right at least on Tuesdays and get in and start getting through some of the Technic stuff. And Plastic Architect, hey, how you going? Welcome along. Hope that you're going well. I'm guessing it's probably afternoon going on evening where you are. How's your day been? Just starting off to build a little bit of Technic. Starting off with a vintage set. Actually, one that I had when I was a kid. And it is literally vintage in the box. Probably mid 80s for this one. And it's nice because it's a see that there, a forklift, and then the B model is a tow truck. And then managed to pick up a more modern version, the same sort of thing, forklift and tow truck. So it would be interesting to go through and do a bit of build, and you can sort of compare the difference over about a 35-year time period. Yep, just wrapping up for work, ready to build. Ah, cool. What are you building? If you want, I can drop you a link, and if you want to jump in, that's cool. If not, that's fine. I've never done any Technic. Oh snap! That thing looks as old as me. No, surely not. The set doesn't look like it's only 20 odd years old. I thought it was older than that. But creativity. I also have the Bugatti and Lambo waiting to build. We can stream together, then we're off for a 5-week journey. Yeah, no, that sounds like a good idea. Definitely. I think how do I want to do this? I think this build and that might take a couple of weeks. Because I'll do both A and B models and sort of compare them and things like that. And then after that, yeah. How much? When were you thinking of doing yours, creativity? Because I did want to, with the Lieber excavator, there was a R2D2 mock using the same parts, which I wanted to give a bit of a try and see how that goes. And saying hello to Mr. Blueberry. But the nice thing I like about these old Technics is that the mechanisms are quite easy to understand. Like you have in the back here, this is how the rear wheels work. You've only really got like 4 bits. You know, the bits which hold the arms in for the wheels. You have the teeth there. You put a gear on that, turn it, bang, they turn. Whereas nowadays, you'll have independent suspensions and differential gearboxes and all the rest of it. But ultimately, that is all it's doing. You're using one rod to turn 2 with some sort of teeth and gears that will go on there. So cool like that. Yeah, because I figure I've got, what is it, 6 or 7? 6 the big Technic sets to do. And each one probably would take the better part of a month. And there's 1 or 2 of them I might also want to try to do the mid model on. So, there's a better part of streaming for a year. And then I've managed to pick up a lot of these other vintage sets, which I'd also like to get through. Plastic, I wish I could join, have 1 more meeting, then free. Need to hop on that now. Have fun. Thanks for stopping by. Appreciate that. Hope your meeting goes well and it is productive. They look like black ones around them. And then in amongst some of the old ones, I think I've managed to pick up the original supercar. So I thought that could be something fun as well. It's like, okay, these, the most recent, Lamborghini, Bugatti, whatever. And then this is the very first one, which, it's like a car chassis with a few seats and a steering wheel. It doesn't even have like a car body. But it all has to start somewhere. And the other nice thing about these is that the piece counts are quite low, like even between these 2 sets. Like this one is only, I think it's about 270 pieces. And the modern version is like 590, so it's like twice as many plus change. And just to put that in context, like your Liber bucket, which is currently, is it still currently the biggest Technic set? I think it is, yep. It has 400 odd pins. So that's just, 400 of those things. So sort of an idea of how much the stuff has kind of changed over the years. Creativity, I have not planned Technic builds yet. We can fix something. First upcoming stream is the Ninjago Destiny's Bounty. Oh, cool. Is that the Destiny's Bounty? Is that the new one or the one from a few years ago? So no, the one from a few years ago, the kids actually had or have. and that was quite a nice build. I think the newer one isn't as elaborate, but I think, still just as good. Yeah, Ninjago at the moment just knocking things out of the park. Obviously, just had the release of the winter gardens, not the winter garden, the gardens. But the newest one. Okay, cool. Yeah, just trying to think. Do you follow me on Instagram, Creativity? If not, just down in the bottom. See if I can do this. That's Instagram. Probably, yeah, best to catch me on there, and we can try to tee something up. I think that'd be cool. Not yet. I will. Oh, okay then. What other socials are you on? Facebook, Twitter, sort of thing. Maybe there's another one there. Sometimes wish YouTube would have some sort of DM system. I haven't discovered one yet. That's all those ones. Now for the fun part. I'm trying to figure out. Go into there. More into there. The red ones there. Ooh, that looks broken. That's going to be one part. Obviously, going to have to go and hunt one of the replacements from downstairs. Pretty sure I've got. I think I'm gonna pick up a couple of those during lockdown. I'll DM you on Instagram. Okay, cool, excellent. Yeah, no, sounds cool. Then it's a matter of figuring out. Okay, I think that pneumatic goes into there. I haven't touched pneumatics since I was a kid, so this is going to get interesting. What's that? That's a 12. To creativity, what other sort of recent Technic ones have you built, or what's other than the Lambo? What's on your radar? Because there's the rumors that I think October this year they'll have the next large Technic set, which is I think meant to be a bulldozer. But it's not going to be a. I think they're saying it's about 3,500 pieces, so it's not going to be the largest Technic set, but it will come in at I think number 4. So unless there's some sort of great promotion, probably get it in 6 months to a year's time. Because that's the thing with the Technics, that's a pump. When they come out, they have a premium on them. Like even what's the recent one? The Ferrari. At least here it came out, and it was, I think, did it start off about 180 pounds? So that was, when did that come out? That was about 2 weeks ago, I think, maybe a bit more. Or was it longer than that? I don't need the spring one. And already it's dropped down to, I think, about 130. So if you waited a couple of weeks, you've already saved about 40 pounds. Creativity. The Red Crane was the first Technic set in 25 years I've built. Oh, nice. That would have been a wake up call. How did you find that? Yeah, you have these little basic brick built ones, and then you go up to, at the time, the largest set. And that, so far, the gearbox in that crane is the craziest one I've come across in terms of it's just got so much going on in such a small space. I mean, it is large for what it is, but it's quite amazing that they pretty much drive all the functions off one motor. Mr. Blueberry Toys covering his eyes. Current Technic backlog: Lambo, Bugatti, and Land Rover. Yeah, also got the Land Rover. And the Land Rover too, it has an issue. I think it's about step 150. One of the gears, the way that they've got it in there is not ideal. I think they've subsequently either done a mod for it or what someone in the community figured out a way just to make a slight tweak so it doesn't grind. You might have been on the other stream I was talking about that, but if not, before you do that, make sure you just do a quick Google to pick up what it is. During COVID, I started a Lego renting service. Most sets had been rented out before I had the chance to build it myself. So I had to start with the biggest set. Not ideal, but fun making it. Ah, cool. Yeah, I've heard of one or two people doing the Lego rent out sort of thing. How are you finding that? I'd just be curious to, because I've sometimes thought about that too. It's like once you build these big things, it's like it'd just be nice to go through, like literally what you're doing, do a rental, just go through, build it, so you've had the experience of that, and then it's like, right, here, you can have it back. My concern would just be pieces go missing or does not come back, or how's the logistics of that kind of work? So, I mean, the other thing with this one is just keeping track of where all these pneumatics and everything are going. Thanks for the tip. Yeah, no problem. I mean, excuse me. I found, I'm beginning to find that a lot of the Technic sets, like the really big ones, they release them and they discover that there's an issue with them. Even when I was building the Porsche, the orange one, recently, because I got this crazy idea with some of them to put some motors in them and make them fully remote control. So when I built that one, I looked at the gearbox and it's like, just as I was fiddling with it and trying to get it to turn and things, it's like, something doesn't seem right here. So I got a motor out and just plugged the motor in. And yeah, sure, fair enough, there was something not quite right there. Because what it was doing, it would go from like alternating gears, it'd go from first gear to third gear to second gear to fourth gear. Because as you're doing it, rather than the speed of the cogs gradually increasing or getting slower in the same rate, it was jumping. So I did a quick Google, and sure enough, when they released the instructions for that, there's two gears that you put in at the back, and they managed to put them in the wrong sides, and that's why it was doing that weird 1-3-2-4 pattern when you went through the gears. So for me, it was like, oh, lucky I caught it when I did, because then it was still a bit of a pain to go back and change it, but at least it's done there. Like, it's one of those things you'd never know. And even if you did put a motor in it, that's the only time you're really gonna, if you somehow manage to motorize the gears change themselves, that's when you'll notice it. But it's like, well, I might do that one day, and I never want to have to come back and spend like 5 or 6 hours coming back and trying to fix this lot. Creativity. We had to do something to keep the kids busy during COVID lockdown in Belgium, so we started renting ourselves. But that's a 2-hour drive. The Star one myself. Oh, okay. So somebody else is doing it there as well. You sort of got the idea off them. That's cool. You're going back as a pain. Not very motivating. Yeah, particularly with those ones, because a lot of the times, sometimes when you're putting those, I wouldn't call them one-way pins, but you put them in and they've got the kind of like stoppers on one end. So they're easy enough to get in, but then to get them out, you can only come at it from one direction. Usually that direction is blocked by the other side that you're building on, so it's not easy to get out. But, I mean, I'm really curious about the renting. How are you finding that? I mean, obviously, if all the models are going out before you're getting them built, it's like, nah. So that's how that must be how the steering works. So it's really cool. It's feel your pain, yeah. Let's sort of see there. So you've got one steering wheel here, which will turn pretty much everything. So this will be like the steering wheel that sits on top, turns the main wheels, and then I'm guessing there'll be like the driver's steering wheel there. Like, that's the thing I like about some of these old sets, is it's just the simplicity in the way that they are able to achieve things. And you can understand it, like it's not like it's going through a whole bunch of different gears and cogs to step the ratio down and stuff like that. Renting is going good now. Been busy during holiday periods, but calm in between. I'm fine with that. Oh, excellent. And you find the sets are generally coming back in the condition that you rent them out? I mean, do you lend them out with boxes, or do you sort of have like Ziploc bags, or what's what's your sort of strategy for that? There. Sits by. Just making sure I get that up the right way. Creativity. There. Did you want to jump on? I can drop you a link if you want. Don't have to. It's cool. Just thought if you're there chatting Technic, easy enough to drop an invite. No, it does. You've got that much built already, and it's kind of like that's step 10. Whereas the new ones, you'd have step 10, and you might have, a couple of the square Technic bits joined together with a whole bunch of pins sticking off them. There. Grey ones. And that's gold. That becomes the thing with these older sets. They've obviously just got grey. You can kind of just tell the difference. A little bit more dull, as opposed to current light bluish grey. Long ones there. Thanks for the invite. Would love to jump in, but shall be going to sleep. Yep, no, that's cool. No worries. Another time, that's cool. And on there. Yeah, I guess it is kind of not a completely weird time. I mean, I just wanted to do it so that enough time kids go to bed. It's kind of a late afternoon for Americans, and then sort of late evening in Europe. Longer ones there. Joys, is this one short or am I just blind? I think it's one short, which could get annoying because I might have to pop down. The rental sets come back in good condition. I make customers pay all warranty. No clue, is that the correct word in English? Yeah, or deposit might be the other one. So they need to bring it back in good condition. One or two pieces missing occasionally, but that's manageable. Yeah, I suppose that's the thing. You just identify a couple of the either more expensive pieces or the more desirable ones that might go off, and just make sure that those ones come back. It's going to be annoying because I'm pretty sure that's missing a friction pin. We'll see how long we can get away with putting that on. Start that. think that's good. Deposit, yes. Yep, no, that's cool. That looks like it's going to go all the way around there. I forget how much they managed to pack into a tight space. It tells me I wasn't paying attention. Yep, and missed a couple of blocks. Sometimes the only thing with streaming, it's quite easy to miss a couple of pieces. But the nice thing with the old Technic brick build is they're easy to put in, take apart. Brett Spills, welcome along. Hope that you're going well this evening. What you been up to? Why does that feel like it's not in the right place? So it's saying it's going there. It's going through and building an old vintage set, I guess you call it. One that I had when I was a kid. This one has a it's got two models, a forklift and a tow truck, and then also have a modern version of it, which has also got a forklift and a tow truck. So I thought it could be interesting to go through and build them, do the whole comparison thing, see what's good, what's bad, what's gotten better, what's gotten worse. Missing quite a number of those pieces. Probably gonna have to pop downstairs and grab some replacement ones. Wow, I don't even remember them being that short. This is 3. And then Brett Spills, I got me vintage base plates today. Well happy. Oh, awesome. Yeah, they obviously migrating across to the new system. If they weren't rare before, they're not getting any more easier to find. A 3 and a 2. I need to get that. I'm off to bed. Nice to talk to you and see you next time. Yep. Been great to have you in and having a bit of a chat. Appreciate that. And certainly hope to see you around next time. And yeah, if you DM me, we can try to tee up doing a Bugatti build or something like that in the future. And hope the rental goes well. Really, we'll have to chat about that next time or a bit more because I certainly think there could be something in that. What day is it? Tuesday. Tech Tuesday. Don't even know what day. And yeah, Brett, I'm not sure if you saw DMs Saturday going to do the monorail. stream instead of the usual draw streams at the same time. If you want to jump in on that, creativity, I'll just see. Just double check, see if I got your DM. Probably a good thing you mentioned it because yep, I got it in my suggested ones, which I never check. So I'm glad you mentioned it because I would have still been looking at that in a month's time and not seeing it there. So what I need, definitely, I don't even know what that was. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Is that an 8? Was it longer? I had a snap piece in here. I don't know the length on it. I think it's an 8 length. So I'm gonna have to replace that. Yes, buddy. Got a link now. Want some company? Yeah, I can. I'll drop it in the chat. I'm just going to quickly pop downstairs because there's a few pieces this set's missing. I can't do anything further. So just give me 1 second, and then actually, no. What I can do is I can copy that. I'll drop it into the. I just dropped it in the main feed. Take the Steve Reynolds approach. I'm sure one day that's going to come back to bite me. I'll be back in just one. Okay, just back and admin. Mr. Brett, how are you going?
Hello.
How's your day been?
Yeah, not too bad, buddy.
Excellent. Good to hear.
Well, I did see you was doing the Technic stream, and I was like, wow.
Yeah, it's something I've been thinking about for over a year, and then I think initially then Tech started doing something on Tuesdays, and it's like, probably shouldn't compete or whatever. And then Woodchuck did then actually did the Tech Tuesday. It's like, oh, okay. Now I'd be just taking that idea. But then I noticed he hasn't really done anything lately, and then he started to get distracted with a Millennium Falcon. So
You see, that Star Wars, it's not always the best. Sometimes it can come back to bite you when you should be doing other stuff.
well, I think
definitely down for the monorail. When did you say? What, this Saturday on the draw stream?
Yeah. So it'll be the basically instead of doing the draw stream time, it will be a monorail.
Yeah. I'm down for that, buddy. You know I am. I'll get everything set up in place. For what not? What time would that be? About 7 it starts, doesn't it, on a Saturday?
Yeah, about 7. So I've got to
Yeah.
do the whole promo thing in. I should just double check the batteries and everything work. So,
that's always a good one, especially as them square 9 volters are. They're not just lying around, are they anymore?
yeah, no. So I think I'd managed to get 1 or 2 extra sort of batteries and motors. So just for that very thing, if they one day decided to die, it's like, well, I'm not completely stuffed.
I've had to. I don't know if you can see, Matt. I'll try and get. I've had to move the castle, and I've come to a full stop, buddy.
Oh, yeah, no, I remember, I think on Instagram recently, you had some pictures up and it was looking really cool.
It's huge, buddy. It is actually
Yeah,
like it doesn't do it justice in the camera view. But the problem I've got, Matt, is I've run out of castle pieces. Now I looked on eBay, and about 15 pieces for castle is the equivalent of £80.
Yeah. Oh, just across the board, like I picked up a whole bunch of these sorts of Technic vintage sets pre-lockdown. Like this whole set box and everything was like £20. Now, if you tried to do it, it would be at least 40. Like you just everything's gone crazy.
I mean, again, the Vampire Castle at the back, I paid £90 before Christmas for that. I was looking last week myself on eBay again, and it's £160 now.
Yeah.
It is, but I have been fortunate. A good buddy of mine who wishes to remain anonymous in America happened to pop into a shop, and there happened to be a wall of castle parts, and it was like, listen, we shouldn't really do this, but how many do you need? So yeah,
nice.
At some point I've got another concealment on its way to me, but yeah, I'm more than happy. I mean, again, if I turn the camera, Matt, if you can see down on the table here, all of these minifigures these are the wife's Harry Potter collection.
Yeah.
From her Lego. Now there's most of season 1 there because we collected them individually, and there's obviously all the figures out of the Harry Potter sets that she had, because me being a non-Harry Potter person, I just put all the figures together. I don't know which ones go with which sets, and I'm not bothered about that. My that bit was the castle. I took the castle. That was, my booty. So yeah, I'm parting with all the figures tomorrow, hopefully, to another oncoming and upcoming Lego collector. Again, they're into Harry Potter. They have 4 or 5 items. We've spoke. There's been quite a conversation about the hobby and what's involved and whatnot on the YouTube side of it. Again, another subscriber, Mr. Elder. I never complain when people want to subscribe.
Exactly.
But again, it's nice to see people interested in what I do. But yeah, at the moment, you've got the big castle, then you've got the Vampire Castle, which is this one here, which is from the Monster Fighters set. And then if I turn the camera again, hang on, I can show you. That one's the Monster Fighters Vampire Castle. This one is the Hidden Side Castle.
Yeah.
And this one here is the Harry Potter. It's the Great Hall plus the connecting parts that make up the castle. And again, that was the wife's, but she said, bloody blah and whatnot, and you'll only end up wanting another castle at some point anyway. So, she's got one up on me for that. But yeah, no, I've got castle on the table, I've got train, and then I've got city down the far end, because again, the wife decided to go to her. Oh yeah, he's got a lovely city. She come in one evening. Oh, can I take a picture of you? Where's the city gone? And I was like, why is that? She's like, I've been telling the girls at work about your city. So with that, I've cleared off a table, I've laid down the base plates. I'm like, You know, the life of a Lego YouTuber is not easy. But
It
yeah,
never is.
I've been working on the castle. Like I say, the figures are going to go tomorrow. But while we're here, if you don't mind, just quickly, I'm just going to show off these roads because everyone's showing the new ones, Mr. Elder, and I'm sorry. They do look good. I'd probably use them for the roofs of buildings, if I'm honest. But for me, there's only one kind of road, and that's the old conventional ones, you know?
Yeah.
The proper vintage flex, the T-junctions in grey. It's what I grew up with as a kid. If everybody wants to progress, I'm cool with that. Good luck to you. But personally, for the nostalgia, I know they cost a little bit more, but I will stick to, I got 3 space plates and about 6 road plates and a couple of other plates. And that was like £50 with postage, which I don't think's bad. The new sets, you get 3 pieces per box. Is that right, Matt?
Something like that. I mean, I haven't gotten them at this point, and it's probably going to be a long time because I mean, it's sort of like, well, you generally have them if you have a city, and it's like, well, that's, you know, one day it might be nice, but no time soon.
Yeah. See, this is the trouble. I'm noticing on Instagram a lot more that people are showing cities with the older base plates, and it's nothing else than the nostalgia side of it, Matt. It is purely, I remember, or my dad showed me pictures of a set he had, and he had them grey base plates. It's like, you know, I can get behind it. Don't get me wrong. I like the ones before the new ones, the ones that everybody was using before the new ones. You know what I mean? I've got nothing against them. I don't see why they changed. You know, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. That's what I
fix it. Yeah. Yeah, it's really, I mean, who knows why Lego do certain things, so you just kind of go with it. And I can understand if you've got a lot invested in the old system and coming across the new one might just be like, you know what? No.
This is it. Did you purchase the Hidden Side Castle, Mr. Elder?
No, I didn't. It was the sort of thing where they'd come up on sale, I'd seen them there, and it's like, oh no, the kids aren't interested. So it's like, okay, whatever, won't worry, you know, nothing to collect. And then of course, what do you want for Christmas? Oh, Hidden Side Castle. Like, oh, what? And then by the time I sort of saw it again, it's like, oh, discontinued.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I did get that from the Americans because, a couple of people got. I know Buckchop got it and a couple of others, but there were a couple that didn't. And then again, Adora builds. There is a prime one.
Yeah.
She ordered it and had to wait extra because it had to come into country because couldn't get it where she was in Australia. I know she has it bad down there, doesn't she? So you can understand the going out the country. But yeah, wow, having to go out the country to get a set. That's quite extreme, isn't it?
Yeah. Because I remember seeing her stream when she was building it. And yeah, that was like sort of, I think she did that at the beginning of January, and it's like, yeah, no, it's out of stock now. Dope.
That's
retired.
It first because we got it 3 months before. Is it 3 months before the Americans?
I think it was something crazy like that.
Yeah, because I got it. Obviously, I you know, not being big-headed here, but I did have a lot of people ask what I thought.
Yeah,
and it's nice to be able to give my honest opinion. To this day, my one sitting there does not have all the stickers on it it's supposed to have when it comes with it. I didn't want to plaster it in stickers. I like the natural look more. Does that make sense?
Yeah, no, totally. Because we got the school, which then I went and converted. Like somebody put instructions on. I'll just take. Where are we at? Sorry.
Mr. Elder, you talk about the Hidden Side School here.
Yeah, so we've gone through there, and there's instructions to make it into a modular. So I made it into a modular, which is that's a really cool build, and it still maintains like a lot of the hidden features, like you open up the doors and you got the hidden eyes in there and the claws coming out the bottom. So yeah, no, it's cool. I really like that. So did I make you disappear? Oops. How do I get you back? Were you? Why? Solo. Have I got this on? Sorry, just being a numpty.
It's cool.
There we go.
What I'm holding up here, Mr. Elder, is the remains of my high school. Because I did exactly the same. I took it apart and just, I enjoyed the build. Don't get me wrong. I did enjoy the build. And
yeah.
After that, I see no point in having it when it had very exclusive red parts that only came in the Palace Cinema, which I happen to have behind me. So, yeah, for anybody that ever does the Palace Cinema, you need the school from Hidden Side for the red pieces, because these are See, this is little things, but yeah, I took it apart, used it for parts. I finished my I finished my pizzeria. I took the old Friends pizzeria, and what I done was I modularized it with parts from the Jurassic House. That's the only way to describe it, baby. Give me a second. I have been in a mad rush trying to get my Lego room tidy so I can do a room tour, Mr. Elder.
Oh, cool. When are you going to try to do that?
Well, I've been planning to try and do it for 5 months, and I'm still not as happy as I could be with my Lego room. But yeah, let me move these out of the way.
It's a work in progress.
Yeah, no, this was the pizzeria that I built.
Oh, nice.
Out of, like I say, most of it was the Jurassic House. Oh. Most of it was the Jurassic House background, but it was the old Friends pizzeria. And what I've done is I just cannibalized the pizzeria and the house, and I built a modular. And it's, I could take the levels off, but at the moment they're not in modular stance. They're actually pinned down. So,
okay. Yeah.
I wanted to pin it down and make sure it was sturdy because it's been moved quite a few times. So, yeah, no, the modularization, it only takes 10 minutes. It's just a case of putting a lip around it and, as you know, having the catch plate there. But yeah, no, that's fully custom, no instructions ever, fully Brett's build, just something I was doing while I'm waiting for parts for the castle, buddy.
Yeah, no, that looks great. Love that idea.
Well, it's just everyone says, "Oh, you got to go out and buy new." I'm sorry, I can't do that all the time. So sometimes I just got to use what I got. And
well, that's the thing I've been looking at too. Is much the same. It's sort of like with what I've got, what can I do with it and things? Because trying to order anything from Lego.com is just a waste of time. Like I just can't. Like something which I ordered in beginning of December came, what was it, last week?
Yeah, Mrs. Brett got saying she ordered in October 2 weeks ago, Matt, and it's like, wow.
Wow, yeah.
Yeah, it's like, what I mean? Under normal circumstances, the companies would be giving you this stuff for free for them kind of delays.
Yeah.
But...
well, it's just
yeah.
I mean, that particular one I wanted because it was the Dickens promo, which I would imagine that it went to the border, it got turned around, it went back to Belgium, it sat there for a bit, they opened it up, reboxed it into a different order. So I then ended up with the vintage car promo, which that's actually really quite nice, but it's sort of like I wanted the Dickens one. That was the whole point. But
yeah. Plenty of them for sale on eBay, though, Mr. Elder.
Oh yeah, it's just that sort of thing. It's like by the time you get through to Lego customer service and you spent an hour having a chat to them and they tell you they can't do anything, it's just like, I got better things to be doing.
Indeed. Can I be taken off the big screen, please?
Oh, sorry.
No, that's cool. I was going to ask you, have you done all this voting malarkey for the ideas?
No. I mean that's the 90th anniversary one or whatever it is.
I don't know, these free choices you get or whatever it is, you know, the vintage bring back set. Yeah. Is that?
Yeah. It was, they did the first round. And I think they've gotten, what is it? Bionicles, Pirate and Castle, to go through to the next round. And I think they're having a bit of a delay, and Bionicles is currently in front, but you know, you get some people complaining about it and whatever.
At the end of the day, does it matter? As long as they bring back something that's worth bringing back, shouldn't that be the main focus?
Yeah, exactly. And it's the sort of thing where, you know, if the Bionicles people get excited, you know, then do they do what they did in, what was it, 2015 when they brought it back, but it wasn't quite the original. It's like something different, and, you know, it didn't appease anybody. And
well, this is it. It's not that, like you say. If it is to be Bionicle, and so be it is, then if the Bionicle people suddenly spend a hell of a load of money on Bionicle, then surely that's good for everyone in Lego, because then Lego will make more sets in all areas. You know, don't get me wrong, I'd love to say castle, Matt, because I've got a castle sitting next to me. There are a lot of people that haven't got those castles. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
In the same respect, did you see that there was also, I believe there was a side option for monorail, and I said it wouldn't be fair to the people that own monorail to bring it back, because it was a one-time, one and done deal. They made it was out for that period of time. There was that said amount made, however many it is, I'm not quite up on that number, but yeah, and it was done. And now part of the romance of the set, especially as you've got one, is knowing that it is a one and done set, and that you're never going to come across somebody that's got 100 of them, are you? It's non-existent. You know, if there is, good luck to them, because they're probably sitting on the gold mine. But yeah, you know, it's a holy grail item. You know, to bring it back would absolutely crucify the price of it, because you're not making it one and done then. And yeah, at the point where I've got £1,100-1,200 to buy the monorail set I want, or two of the monorail sets I want, however it works out, it will be done. And you know, you can't regret spending that money, because it's a one and done item. A lot of the Star Wars UCS sets, I would imagine, are the same. They're a lot of money, aren't they? So
yeah, I'm sort of on the fence with that sort of stuff, because I've thought about it in terms of, if they brought the monorail back, would I be thrilled with it? Probably not. But at the same time, it's sort of like, it is a kid's toy. It was never intended as an investment item. Like when they had the Taj Mahal, like the first one was selling for like 3,000 and stuff like that. And they bought it back. And then at the time, you had a lot of people, obviously, had spent big money on that, sort of complaining. And it's like, well, it's a kid's toy. It's not an investment. And you can go through and you can, a lot of them, you can rebrick. So it's not like, it's not like a sports card or something like that, where that is the physical item. There's only one of them, sort of thing. Because I'm going through at the moment and rebricking the corner cafe.
Is that because it's the first modular and the most expensive?
A combination of that, yeah. The first one, it's, I don't know, maybe over time I'll go through and do a lot of those original ones. And it is doing it, it is relatively ridiculously expensive, and there's a lot of pieces in there which some of them are like £20 a piece, and it's like, well, actually there's this other, like some of the wall panels and things on it, because they're the old style open stud, whereas now they've gone to they're the solid stud, whereas now they've moved across to the open stud. If you replace those parts, all of a sudden there's like, 80 pounds you've just saved. Like you can pay like 20 pounds per each of those, or you can do the new ones, which just the only difference is the studs in the top are hollow as opposed to open, and they're like 10p each. Like
it's funny you say that about parting sets out, because I was talking to Hoosier Bricks and Lumberjack Josh, the Americans, the other day, and we were talking about green trains, Matt, and to get a certain colour green, you have to buy the Emerald Knight. It is the only train Lego produced with that green in it. So you'd have to then buy 4 or 5 of the set to cannibalise it. As it is, it's already quite a rare set. You wouldn't want to be opening them to cannibalise them for parts, would you? But, as you say, to buy it from Lego don't sell that colour. So
they don't sell it unless somebody turns around and much like the bookshop modular, like they'd stopped making basically that teal, and then they brought the bookshop modular back, and now there's that teal everywhere. So it swings and roundabouts. I just think by the nature of it being bricks and all that sort of thing, there's always a chance that they can bring it back, or they can bring back something closer to it. And
I mean, again, the Pirates, don't get me wrong, if we hadn't have had Barracuda Bay so recently and the 3-in-1 pirate shit, then I would be voting Pirates, Matt. But with them two sort of sets sort of being out there recently, it kind of puts me off Pirates. Now, Vintage Space is obviously a love of mine, so I would vote for that. Castle, again, is a love of mine, but I don't think I need to vote for it because I've already seen the damage on eBay of what it's doing. So, yeah, I would not vote for Castle as much as I'd like to, but, the Forest Men, now, there's something that I believe should be brought back. Paradisa was another recommendation that didn't make the list, apparently, but a lot of people said it. All these different, as I've always said, Mr. Elder, I can't keep up with the new sets. There are a lot of them that I haven't got that I would like. I'd like the Police Station. I'd like Sesame Street, just to name a few. But with me, I will also not rush on the new sets. They're not going anywhere. They don't need to be day one. I did that with the Castle, and then they dropped it in price 3 times, the Hidden Side one. I learned my lesson with that I didn't need to rush out and buy it day one. But again, if you don't, it's like Apocalypseburg with Sarah Star Bricks. I was in the same predicament she was. I left it till it was too late. Yeah. I could have bought that at £280, Mr. Elder. That was going to be my first modular. And I opted out of it. And it got to the point where it is what it is now. And there's no chance in a month of Sundays that I will end up with that one because of waiting, Yeah. The Castle, I fit first because I didn't know how long it was going to be in stock or where it was going to be in stock in the UK. That's the other thing. America, easy. There's a lot of places that sell things in America. The UK is a tiny island and we're all crammed in on it.
All crammed in on it, and they've decided to have some issues at the border. So it's
the
Apocalypseburg, I managed to get that. Basically, what they did is a Black Friday. They put it on special, and they just basically sold out of it because that set only was available for 9 months. They released it in February, and then Black Friday discontinued. And
that's got to be probably the shortest, then, isn't it?
It would have to be one of them. I mean, particularly for a set of that scope and size. It's not like it was, they didn't put any time or effort into it. It's probably one of my favorite modern builds.
That's it. The only thing I didn't like, Mr. Elder, is once it's built, am I correct in believing it's an odd sort of size to put into any kind of city?
Yeah, you would have to. It's not on a square base. It's got all sorts of weird angles. So it'd be the sort of thing you'd really have to put it and then build up to it and around it. But the nice thing about it is it pretty much works from all sides. Like the modulars, if you get them on the side, they don't work. and lots of other sets, if you get them from the back, or like, the Ghostbusters, if you get that from the back, it doesn't work. Whereas that one, it works from all sides.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, no. We all have wish lists, don't we? We'd all like, I mean,
yeah, and I mean, obviously it's some of the Technic stuff I like, but it's the day one prices are just crazy. Like even if you wait 2 weeks, like you look at the Ferrari that they released a couple of weeks ago, it came out at 180. It's already down to 135 ish.
that's what I mean.
And I'm sure, give it a year's time and a Black Friday, and you'll get it for a really good deal.
I mean, again, I'll be honest with you. The police station, I think, is reasonably priced for what it is, and Sesame Street at 130 was also reasonably priced for what it is. I mean, obviously Sesame Street isn't the modular, but then it's £70 off. That's the difference.
Yeah,
you're paying for license with Sesame Street, whereas you're not with the modular. So I think when it comes to those two sets, that's why I would like both of them. One, because the modular wasn't extortionate like you would expect it to be with the way prices are going up.
Yeah.
And two, the same for Sesame Street. It was reasonable money for what was included. I mean, don't get me wrong. With the idea stuff, they alter it, don't they? It's not exactly what the designers build. Lego always get the final say. I know that.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes it's close to it, and then other times it's radically different, like Barracuda Bay. So I mean, it has to fit in with their marketing mix of products that they're bringing out. They have certain price points and targets and all the rest of it. So
I mean, again, perfect time to build a castle, eh, Mr. Elder, as they're just bringing the blacksmith shop out.
Yeah. And even with that one, they don't get me wrong, that looks like a amazing sort of build, but they didn't do the roof the way that the fan designer did it. Obviously, I can understand the technique on the way that the fan designer didn't, or they did it was not going to be as robust as what Lego sets need to be.
Yeah.
But
Well, this is it. They take on the ideas. You would think they would follow through, which would also make us as the customer happy as well. To know that the design is the way it was intended to be would make us all a lot happier, I'm sure.
I don't know. I mean, it's the sort of thing like that's with the vintage car here or whatever. The issue with this is that those just pop straight off because there's not much clutch power holding them on, and everyone's complaining about it, and it's like, well, that's kind of like how it was done with the fan designer and things. So it's kind of like you're damned if you do and you're damned if you don't. So
I think it comes down to the old fight, Mr. Elder. When that car was displayed as an ideas car, it wasn't intended to be played with. It was intended to be a model. Obviously, being the Lego community like we are, we want to play with things as well. And like you say, the more you play with it, the more bits are going to fall off of it.
Yeah. And it's this thing, or I've seen a couple of the mods where they've basically taken them off, and it's sort of like, okay, yes, and they get that and they turn around and get it to work. But it's sort of like, well, that is what makes that car where they had the two-tone and those sorts of scoops and cutouts and things like.
That's it.
But it's the thing. If they do it like that, we complain it falls off, and if they don't do it like that, then we complain that they didn't follow the design.
That's it. You're damned if you do and damned if you don't.
And I've just realized this set is missing a few more pieces, so I'm just going to have to quickly pop downstairs for a sec.
Yeah, go on, buddy. It's cool. Hello, Mr. Blueberry Toys. How you doing? A little bit. I'll show you a little bit here. This is my pizzeria mock I built myself. I cannibalized 3 other sets and built one. Some would call me crazy, but I call it cool. And it's properly done. It's got garage at the back for the cars, the cash machine in there in case you run out of money. Yeah, just a little build I did myself. And a key reminder that when you've got vintage sets, make sure you've got all the parts. As I well know. Got the Series 21 minifigure here. Series 21 minifigure. Series 21 minifigure. We've been collecting or trying to collect them. Put that over there. The camera. I'll show you castles. There we go. And Harry Potter. Plenty of Harry Potter. Maybe too much.
Okay. Yeah, it's the sort of thing you usually check some of this stuff, but
It's funny, I just said that. I said this is a key lesson that when you're using vintage Lego to always check the set before you start.
And a lot of the bits which are missing, they are the vintage ones, so I don't have any direct color for color replacements. It's like, yeah, I've got a Technic axle, but it's not the right color, and that's a rare color.
I have a whole drawer of Technic parts, Mr. Elder, for the day I decide that I want to start messing with things. Also, I have a couple of clutch gearbox type bits as well, if you know what I mean. The Technic. Yeah, because one day I'd like to build a windmill and have it motorized. That's one of my. Yeah. Right parts, the right day, the right mood. Yeah, I'd like to build. It's just something different, something that I've not seen many people build, and for that reason, I'd like to have a go.
Yeah, that's always the thing. It's like, well, if everyone's done it, it's like kind of ho hum. But if you're one of the few,
yeah. Well, again, I like outside the box, Mr. Elder. Mr. Hinkle commented the other day that these brown pieces on the big castle are not a good use of full Eldorado or whatever it's called. I said, look, I've got to use what I've got. I can't go out.
I think you'll find that's one of his favorite sets. So that's probably why he's picked it up.
Yeah, no, definitely. But it's all fun games.
Yeah.
It's just right parts are, any part at the moment is expensive because it's worth more individually than it is as part of a set, really.
Yeah, well, that's what I was looking for in the cafe corner. You've got a couple of those 2x2, excuse me, little turntable spin pieces, and they're in this grey color, and each one of those is like £20, and it's only in a couple of sets. And one of the other sets it happens to be in is the old Harry Potter. Is it Attack of the Burrows?
Yeah.
And it's sort of like you can actually buy that with those grey pieces for about £35 and get the whole set, or and buy the 2 turntable pieces individually for about 40. It's kind of like, or you can substitute it for something which is close to it for about 2p. Which way do you want to go with this?
See, that's why I, just like you, I took Newbury High School apart. Now, with the castles, Mr. Elder, I was going to take the Vampire, Monster Fighters, and the Hidden Side apart as well. Use them to go into the big one as well. But what I found is when I started building the big one, I actually didn't realise I had as much castle as I thought I had. So, by the time I got to the point of no return, I thought, well, I don't need to cannibalise the other 2 castles. It would just be pure wasteful for me to take them apart for no reason, because the parts from them wouldn't make much of a difference on the castle the size it is now anyway. So I left them 2 castles because technically I started the big castle with 4 castles. I had 4 Lego castles myself. And I decided to keep 2, and then obviously inherited the Harry Potter as well, which of course I built the Great Hall for the wife, you know.
Yeah.
A few other bits. So I will keep the Harry Potter castle as it is. I've always wanted to do the Quidditch, and I don't know if you can see, if I turn the camera, I've got a little game of Quidditch going on there, but I'd like to build a proper one with, like, you know,
a decent size.
Yeah. And for that reason, the castle and, yeah, the Quidditch will stay. I mean, I've got Hagrid's hut here. I've got Tom Riddle's grave. There's loads of other sets, but I will probably tear them down, Matt, if I'm honest, because I don't need Harry Potter. It doesn't fit with anything else. The castle fits because it's a castle. Everything else isn't, and it's just like, yeah, spare parts, you know. So I will probably break down, but over the case of the last month, while I've been breaking down and sorting through my collection, I have come to realise that I have got a lot of parts. More than I thought I had. I had some, and yeah, I've come across a whole lot more that, yeah.
A lot more that, than what you realised. And then it's the pain of keeping them sorted and figuring out what to do with them.
Hi, Chef D. How you doing?
Hey, Chef D. Welcome along.
Sorry, Matt, I didn't tell you this. As soon as you sent me the invite, I threw a post up on Instagram telling everyone we was live.
Okay, cool. No, that's awesome. So,
yeah. I see you was on here and it was quiet. You know me, buddy. I like to come on and have a natter with you, especially as now we're doing the monorail Saturday.
Yeah. So
that's fine by me, you know.
I must be using your wrong Instagram account because I thought I messaged you a couple of times about that.
I did have 2, Mr. Elder. One of them was my personal account. When I changed phones,
okay.
I had for my personal account didn't work, so I kept the channel one, and the channel one is the only Instagram I run now.
Okay, that would explain it. So yeah, because I've been messaging you on the other one for some time now. So
hey, yeah, that's why I kind of had to lose that one and all the pictures on it. But to be quite honest, you know, Instagram was to spy on my daughter. I don't need to spy on my daughter. She tells me what's going on in her life now. So, yeah, the Instagram's for the channel and for friends, you know.
All in one.
Yeah, I will drop a little spoiler. I had a nice chat with Simon Moss the other day. I'm sure you know Simon from being in many of the chats.
Yeah, I see him all the time.
Very nice gentleman indeed, you know. Yeah, we had a little chat and that, and you know, he's going to be coming into the YouTube family at some point.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah, it was nice to you know, I was welcomed and helped and shown and spoken to about it, and I'm hopefully doing the same for Simon, you know, trying to tell him what it's all about and that, you know. Like I say, I don't think he's rushing to get a channel out there and loads of videos, but it's on the cards. You know, it was spoke about, and it will be nice to have another YouTuber.
Yeah. I mean, particularly, Simon, like what you say, he's been in the chats for like ever.
Yeah, for everyone. He's always London calling.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, again, it's getting hard, Mr. Elder. I've been on here nearly a year now, and I have so many traditions that I'm surprised the wife hasn't divorced me, because it's like Monday night I have for Zoom for craziness Monday night. Tuesday's either you, Tech, or somebody else, you know, there's another stream on. Wednesday night's the solo stream.
Yeah.
Thursday night you've got for Zoom again. Then you've got Friday night, you've got Reed Hope Castle. Saturday you got Hoosier. Mrs. Brett complains she doesn't see me because my life, my Lego life. It's not a bad thing, you know. Being trapped indoors, I get a variation of different people, so it can't be all bad, can it? But yeah, no, it is. There are so many traditions, like you say, the draw stream on a Saturday. It's just compulsory now. You know, it's like soaps, Mr. Elder.
Yeah.
The wife watches her programs, and I'm on the streams, and
You've got yours, and you can even be interactive in yours.
Exactly. That's it.
This is annoying. I think there's all just these little tiny bits, these little tiny things that are missing. No. I mean, the nice thing for the most part is that they're relatively common. I mean, the colors might not be, but
well, again, like the whole gears and cogs and that. I don't know if we've Technic before, Mr. Elder, but I had the big red car as a child.
Oh, okay.
The first one with the active steering, where it had the you could turn the front wheels. I mean, I was a big Technic child. I had all the battery powered motors, all the battery packs, all the motors, the chains, the cogs, all the pneumatic stuff that you've got there, the pump. I mean, I used to sit and play with that stuff for hours, just sitting there pumping stuff up.
Yeah, definitely much the same.
You know, I'm not being nasty to Lego, but them new cranes, they're not built like that.
No, it's. And that was sort of, I think, maybe been commenting before you came on. It's like, you know, these sorts of things, like, you can build them, you can understand them, they work. Whereas the new ones, it's like, okay, it's great, they do marvelous things. Chance of understanding how the heck they even work, good luck.
It's not that. Again, look at the size of the book you've got there. With the new ones, it's like half a tree.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. Like, you've got this little tiny wafer thin book. It's got the A model, the B model, and another mechanical model if you were to buy the motor. So they're trying to do that for you. And, like, you know, I'm up to this part, and this is like step 15, and you're like 2/3 of the way done. Step 15 on any other one, you've put together a couple of the.
Well, that's it. You're bag one.
You're not even bag one. You're like on the first level, putting in a whole bunch of pins still.
Yeah, no, definitely. Like I say, for that reason, I've always liked the older Technic. I mean, there was a spell where all the Technic was in schools, wasn't it, for a while? Maybe probably not for you being like Australian and whatnot, but especially over here in the UK, I remember like as a young child, this was shown to me, you know, as an engineering side of things at a very young age. I don't know whether it was what would be, it was primary and junior. I don't know, the one before secondary anyway. I swear that, that school had all of this, and it would come out and we would be showing about cogs and motion. And like I say, that's what gets the children interested. Like you said, when you look at a crane of today, that's an 18+ build, because the children just would get caught away through it and get bored with it. Whereas this stuff, excuse me, I'd still be there caught away through, sitting there pumping up the pumps.
Yeah.
Forget the build. I'll just be sitting there gassing them up, lifting things, and you know, exactly.
It's like as soon as I can get this little bit on, it'll be like, you know, just testing those out. But it's that's the only problem with doing these streams. It's like, it's missing a few pieces and they're downstairs. It's like, again, another trip. So. But yeah, it is like even those, like even when I had the issue with that red Technic crane and things like that, it took hours just to, you know, it was an hour or two just to figure out exactly where it had gone wrong, and another couple of hours to fix it. And that's really having to sit down and have a good hard think about it. It's like this goes onto that, which then links up to this, and that gets stepped down here, but then splits over there. And whereas, these ones, it's like, okay, steering there, goes down to here, turns the thing there, and it moves. Like, done.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um,
I know it had to progress, but it didn't have to get quite so complex in the process, is my argument.
Yeah, it's a hard one because I started to build the blue Mustang.
Yeah.
So I got most of the way through that, and then like obviously it looks like what it's meant to, but then having come off so many big Technic builds, like when you go through and you do the wheels and the steering mechanism on that, like it's incredibly basic. There's no, and look, I get it. It's it's a different type of build, but then you're still like, after you've done like a Porsche or something like that, like the orange one, it's like, no, I want the complexity and everything there, but I don't understand it. Yeah, but if I get it normal, then I don't like it. Like,
yeah, we're back to damned if you do and damned if you don't again, aren't we? Really?
Yeah, exactly. So, just having a look in the chat. It's like, just seeing how each other's going, winding down, long day. It's good to hear. And Ricksloth has made along. Welcome along. Hope you're going well.
Hello, Ricksloth, buddy.
I'm just going to, I've been trying not to do this, but I'm going to go and pop downstairs again and grab a few more of these pieces which weren't in this set. So sorry about that.
It's a good thing about a vintage set. It's never all there.
Yeah, it's vintage.
Yeah, I was just saying to Matt Sloth about Technic with the pneumatic, with all the pumping system and that, like the older version of it, it's so much better and more intriguing than the new Technic. The old stuff, I'd still be sitting playing with the hydraulic pumps 20 minutes into the set. I wouldn't have built nothing. I'd just be sitting there playing with the pumps. Nowadays it's all about complexity, and how you doing, Steve?
Steve, how you going? Hope you're well. What is it, early morning there? If you wanted to jump in, there's a link in the chat there if you wanted to. I've adopted your approach, so I'm sure
you trust your Patreons enough, Mr. Elder.
Don't have any, so I'm not sure about the whole trust issue.
Now, listen. You know that if I ever see you on, I always come and say hi. I have to.
And I appreciate it. So
it's the least I can do for you, buddy. You do the draw streams. I was literally, here you go. I was talking about you and Mr. Hinkle to somebody yesterday. And I said, I've met some artists. I said, and wow. I said, just wow. And he's like, yeah. And I was like, yeah. And he's like, I was like, they can draw anything, mate. I was like, literally, I've watched them sit and drawing. He's like, wow. He's like, you've been away for a couple of years and you've met all these new people. Like, I'm like, yeah, well, it's just the YouTubes, isn't it? The first thing I saw of you, Mr. Elder, as an artist, go on, tell the people, was the picture of Flash and Batman, wasn't it?
Yeah, that's probably
Do you remember I said to you the first time we spoke, I was like, where did you get that? And you was like, I painted it. And I was like, really? Wow. Again, because you don't bump into people like you every day. So again, I'm just as grateful for you, buddy, That's the reason I'm always here. You give me good content to watch.
It's so great to hear and appreciate it. Although sometimes that content can be unintentional, I'm thinking of a exorcism on a crane.
Yeah, but you know, you've got the exorcism on the crane. You know, I power functioned the Lego Friends Ferris wheel, which I shouldn't have. Definitely. So you're not alone, buddy. I mean, Solo dropped the Barracuda Bay, didn't he?
Yeah.
We're all guilty of something.
We're all guilty of something.
Yeah, some of us are better at hiding it than others.
And welcome along, Steve. Great
Good
to have
morning,
you in.
guys.
How you
How's it
doing?
going?
Good. I just woke up and I have not even looked in the mirror. So there we go. Oh my God, it's still ugly. Nothing's changed overnight.
You almost make it sound like it does from time to time.
I always hope. There's always hope. You know, if you're alive, there's always hope. I don't know. So yeah. So what's going on? What have I missed?
Not too much. I just
You're building Technic?
Yeah, Technic, because it's something I've been wanting to do for a very long time, and then other people started doing it, and it's like, oh well, I'll just hold off on it, and they sort of stopped doing it. And then also too, I was watching a Beyond the Brick recently, and they're going through the top 10, biggest Technic sets, and I was looking at that, and it's like, oh yeah, I've got that one, never built it. Oh yeah, got that one, never built it. Oh yeah, got that one, never built it. And it's like, I really do need to start building these, so it's going to force me to start.
You want to get to the point, Matt, where I've got that one and I've built it.
Yeah,
so you can actually be ahead of the curve. So,
be ahead of the curve. But
yeah,
do you do much with Technic?
Not really. I'm not huge Technic. I've incorporated it into some of my builds where I've had to motorize things.
Yeah.
But I'm not really. I wouldn't say I'm a big Technic fan. So I've got a bit of Technic. Probably, I say a bit, but probably more than a lot of other people. But yeah, it's funny when you're in the toy aisle and a parent will come up and they're like, "Oh, my son's got so much Lego." I'm like, "Yep, I bet they do. I bet they do." Oh my gosh. I had a letter from a neighbor that dropped off a letter to me the other day, pretty much asking for help, and I didn't realize which house it came from. When I did, I'm like, oh, I've known those girls since they've been, since they were born, pretty much. But yeah, one of the questions was, do you have all the colors in the world, even gold and silver? I'm like, yes. Yeah. So yeah, I saw them in the park across the street with their mum and dad, and I'm like, Danielle, come over, and yeah. So I gave the kids a little bit of gold Lego. They were like, oh my God. So yeah, it was pretty cool.
Is that the real gold, or is that like a pearl gold?
Pearl gold. To them, anything gold is gold.
Gold.
So.
Yeah. No, it's just I've occasionally come across some of the real gold stuff, and it's actually really expensive.
Oh yeah, the metallic gold.
Yeah.
Or yeah, I have some of that, but I don't give that away. it's not something I'm keen to give away. We need that stuff. So yeah.
That's why when you're sort of saying that, it's like, how well do you know them?
Yeah,
like,
pearl gold. Yeah. So
how's the build, Steve? The fire station and police station.
Yeah. I see that on Instagram. It's looking awesome.
Yeah, I'm pretty happy with it. Thanks, guys. I'm pretty happy where it's at. Added in some, want to get rid of some of the bland white wall that was on the other side of the police station. So added in a little bit of plants and stuff. So I can see if we can reach it with the camera, if you like.
Yeah, of course.
I haven't done anything internal yet. I know Sloth loves her the cities as well, so see if I can get. Oh, I think we can.
Yeah, that's it. Oh wow!
Add a little bit of greenery on the side, and
no, that was
second police car, so pretty set. I'm pretty happy with the how the roof was the challenge. I didn't know if I'd be able to get it to work right, and I'm pretty happy with it. So you got the prison
Looks
there.
good, buddy. Looks good.
Yeah,
Definitely
no.
looks good.
And pretty much ready for people to move in now. There's there's nothing inside yet except for the 2 fire engines. So
No,
I'll
that's
keep it
great.
from the front too.
Yeah,
Wow.
it's that the dead front is the angle's been seeing on Instagram, and just seeing the side car park and that leaf foliage.
It's pretty
That's,
boring on this side, and I've used trans blue up the top and trans clear down the bottom. I might change those to trans clear. I'll see how I feel. But everything else is pretty much trans blue or trans black. So pretty boring facade for a fire station. And what I did like the 2-face style where you've merged the two.
Yeah.
Because it's funny, people go, well, they're 2 different buildings, and I'm like, it's funny you should mention that. In the estate that I live in Pakenham here, there's actually a police, fire station, and SES combined. So this is pretty much it doesn't look like these, but it's set up the same.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
some
I
little yellow
gotta say,
barriers at the front.
Steve, I do like that police station. Now that I've got a better look at it, I do like that police station, buddy.
Oh, thanks, mate.
Yeah, I think your hero angle is more from a bit to the side, so you can see like the cars and the foliage and stuff.
Oh yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
absolutely. And it's a bit of a reveal photo when you do these things on Instagram. So just a
Okay.
little bit. That's what I've been playing with at the moment. So it's amazing how quickly you can run out of specific parts when you're working in one color. But yeah, I didn't really want to use the red and then the white, but I thought you need them to stand out and be what they are. You can hide them in a bunch of masonry bricks, but at the end of the day, they really need to sort of show what they are, don't they? So red for fire station, white for police, and then maybe red and white for the ambulance and the hospital. Yeah. So,
have you got the hospital, Steve? The current one?
I have the hospital, and yeah, I'll probably use the parts from it to create a hospital. I don't think it'll be necessarily the same.
I've got the box behind me. Same again. I've got the instructions. I've got all the parts. But when it came to that hospital, the second I bought it, my biggest regret was that I couldn't buy another one straight away because I really wanted to two up that hospital. I think it would have, even if they'd have added another $100, maybe $150, and put the extra on top to really make it a proper modular hospital, I would have paid, because again, the first hospital we'd had in a long time, wasn't it? So
I don't think there's a lot of exclusive parts in there. So I was sort of holding back as much of the trans blue parts as I could so I could use that on an extension. It's funny, I do have one brand new in box, but Mason opened one that he got for Christmas last year or something, or the year before, whatever, 2020. No, 2019. I'm lost. I have no idea.
we've been indoors so long.
Yeah, so he, being a 6-year-old, 5-year-old at the time, it was beautiful. It was built. It was perfect. And then the next day it was in parts. So, yeah, so there's a bunch of parts I can try and salvage from there, and he'll be happy. I'll trade him for something that's a bit easier for him to manage. So he's right into Marvel at the moment. So I don't know. I've got some stuff. I'll show you quickly. These are just some stuff. I've got some storage down here. So there's a hospital there. What else have I got? Got a couple of larger like Marvel sets there as well. I think there's a Hulkbuster in there. So I might be able to trade him Hulkbuster. So
do you have to trade your kids?
Yeah, if I'm going to take a bunch of parts from him, either that or I'll just bricklink them and sort of see who's got them and hit them up instead. So that's definitely an option. I'll show you this custom Spider-Man shirt I got made a few years ago.
I like that.
Oh, nice.
So that was for a Comic-Con or something. So Had
Can
to
I
feel
call
like
on your expertise, buddy?
Sorry.
Can I call on your expertise? Can you tell me which this Batman's from?
Yep, that one came from a book. That's Electro Suit Batman.
Right.
I'm thinking probably maybe 2013, something like that.
Yeah, no, I bought a figure bundle on eBay, and he was just one of the ones in there. I've never seen him before, and I thought I'd wait till I saw you, being the man to ask.
I don't know about that.
I did get one of the Team GB Olympians as well. I don't know anything about these, but that's a 2009 Team GB Olympian. That
He looks like the weightlifter. Is he the weightlifter or something? Oh, maybe runner. Looks like he could be a runner. I only got a couple of those. I've got, I think, swimmer, because they didn't get released in Australia, so we had to get secondhand, sort of, or higher price.
Yeah, it's the first time I've ever seen one, buddy. Honestly, I've never seen them before. Same with that Batman. I just bought a parts bundle because it had some pirates and a couple of knights for the castle. And the wife had to do an extra shift, and she was like, "I'm going to be late tonight. You're going to have the so just go on eBay." I was like,
"My favorite." To throw out some apologies there. It was actually 2012, not 2013. It was DC Universe Superheroes Batman Visual Dictionary. So, so that just like it was. I don't know if they had two. I think that might have been one of the first Batman like figures that came out in that style, where they came with a book. So,
cool.
It's pretty cool. Yeah. So it's 8 years old there, Brett.
I've probably got older ones stashed away here somewhere.
I really shouldn't bring up Ryan from M&R Productions, but it's definitely older than most of his audience. So, and I know how much he'd love that.
Steve, is that what's known in the biz as a low blow?
Oh, absolutely. He'd be happy he got mentioned. So, yeah.
Did you get the Series 21, Steve? The new series?
Got a couple of them. It's the girl with the. Mason was after that one, so I found that one and Mason
today. But yeah, the other one I've got is the plane.
Drongo. I got this guy. Yeah, you got the plane.
And I'm not the violinist.
Yeah, the violinist was cool too. I did get the violinist. Got the space dude, the alien guy.
Yeah, he looks cool as well. All the Series 21 look cool, actually, if I'm honest. I did like them, although I've only got a couple.
I had a thought there. Might have to show you something. I was talking to one of my son's friend's dads. Well, he's a friend too. Like, he's helped me with Lego moving and stuff before. His name's James. Anyway, James will never be watching this. But he made a suggestion. He says, he goes, "Oh, you're going to do a construction area?" And I'm like, "I could do that." And then I was thinking about it. I'm like, why don't I have construction guys around the buildings I'm currently building, so I can tell a story with them? So he's like, "Have you got any construction workers?" I'm like, "Hang on, is Kelly around? Is the wife around?" Yeah, of course I've got that.
No, don't have anything like that.
So yeah, they don't really have a place yet, but you can sort of see there's a few there. I've got to go out and find the construction tools for them to use. Like, I've got a tray. Ugh. It's weird. I can actually, you have no idea how far from the computer. I'm actually almost 2 meters from the computer now. I'm loving this. So yeah, I've got a tray of tools and stuff that they can use.
Yes.
And there's more of them, but these are just the ones that I thought I'd use.
I did have probably that many, Steve, but I have a 2-year-old that likes to defigure things.
Yeah. It's handy to have the sort of the spare parts too. Like, this is something I've reused from a mock before. It's just a bus stop. Yeah. And the key here was putting stickers on the actual glass on the inside. I've got to get rid of the Batman.
Yeah, I see him.
Yeah, so you got to make it a little bit more, realistic, not just or you add graffiti because hey, this is the time to live in.
Add graffiti, I like that. Yeah.
I'll show you my
You Batman. Awesome.
Yeah, this one's cool. It's not paper either. It's cardboard.
I was going to say, what's he doing to Joker? I'm not liking that.
Well, it's from the Batman movie, so of course he's going to beat Joker, right?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, I just think Brett doesn't like that as a concept.
Batman's better than the Joker.
Depends which man and which Joker, doesn't it? We could be here a long time, Steve.
Well, it depends which Batman, I guess.
Yeah, listen. To me, there's only one real Batman, and you'll probably disagree and say someone else. But for me, it's Christian Bale.
I would disagree. For me, the young Batman is Michael Keaton.
Okay.
But that's okay. That's we're all. I was 12-year-old when that came out. So to me, that was like, I've been reading comics for so long, and then suddenly there's this movie with the comic book on the screen. Yeah, that is my Batman. If anything, he probably should be the Bruce Wayne, because he doesn't have the physique. Not that I've got the physique, but he doesn't have the physique of Batman. But he has the Bruce Wayne mannerisms, like the quirkiness that he can pretend that he's someone else. Yeah. And you can see that by the you look at it. His career and some of the characters that he's played, like Beetlejuice, that's a bit random. So I think he's perfect for Bruce Wayne, but his body shape doesn't really lend towards Batman. So, yeah, I don't know. How did it get to Batman? This is a Technic stream.
Triggered.
Oh, definitely not triggered. No.
Have you seen what Sloth's on about? That new video stuff that Sarah Connor's been going on about?
I saw something.
Yeah,
I looked into it.
Yeah, I think we're all sort of pretty much the same.
Were there printed tiles? Was there a lot of printed tiles in that stuff?
I mean, I haven't. All I saw was that Si had done something about it. I'll be honest. I've been a bit manic today. I didn't click on the link for Si. Sorry, Si.
I haven't had time. I usually see what's active, what's live, and Matt was streaming, and I thought, I'll jump on and watch that. Wasn't expecting to be jumping in. I didn't even inform the boss that I was potentially doing this, so I might get yelled at. That'll be fun. You might get some views. Extra views.
Have something there later for Doc to do something with. I still think he's. Did you must have seen his review of the Winter 72-hour stream?
Parts of it.
There's 3 parts of it now.
Yeah, I think I've seen most of it. There's some dodgy parts where Doc's blaming me as the #1 troll, but it was really him.
No, there's a line there that he had when I think he was doing your stream or whatever, and it's like, oh, and here's Steve, where drinking is like breathing air.
Yeah.
Mind you saying that, have you seen the tech production one yet, Steve?
Oh,
the Christmas
the one
special?
where tech just smashed.
Yeah,
I saw a bit of it, but IT's tech enough already. I feel like, yeah. So we have chats on the Discords. So IT's tech quite a bit. So I feel like I'm cheating on him by not teasing him live. I know that sounds bad. I love tech. I do love tech.
Yeah, it's sort of. Is that because he reminds yourself of a younger version of you?
I used to be a bit fit. Yeah. No. Just because he's pretty open. I don't think he could tell a lie, this kid. I think he's just, you see what you see, you get what you get with tech. So
yeah,
that's what I like. I like honesty. Honesty is a big thing for me. So,
That's it.
so I don't have much Lego. Don't look in the background.
Yeah, me neither. Me neither.
This is just
None
one
of-
of those green screen things. This is of a friend's house.
Yeah. I got. Well, I'll go one better. I got Matt Elder to draw that. It's just an image.
I wonder if Matt Elder can do a drawing of my yellow wall with all 720 minifigures in it. Is that a challenge?
Matt, hit him back with his out of commission.
Here's a little bit of detail for you.
I tell you what, I'll even make it easier. I would say £5 per minifigure, but that would translate into 100 Australian dollars. So we'll do $5 Australian per minifigure.
Wow. I don't know. I better talk to the Minister of Finance.
Ministry of Finance, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Actually, I'm getting a message through. She said no.
Yeah. My Ministry of Finance has told me the bank's closed and it ain't opening anytime soon.
Yeah. It's been liquidated and gone under.
Yeah, it's funny seeing all these new sets like is it the blacksmith, the Black Falcon? And people are like, oh, you're gonna get that? I'm like, I so want it, but I've just bought the bonsai tree and I've just bought the modular, bought some superhero stuff, bought some Chinese New Year stuff, and it adds up so quickly. You're like, hang on, all right, you got to draw the line, go stop.
Yeah.
Well, Steve, that's without your Bricklink order for parts as well, isn't it? That's just sets.
Bricklinks aside, we don't. I you know what? I haven't ordered that many things off Bricklink lately. And I say lately because
The wife's listening.
I don't know if she's listening, but I'm just gonna have a look. You know how you get where is it? You get feedback.
Yeah.
That doesn't give you total orders. But my feedback is 742. So.
And when did you join roughly?
October 10, 2009.
Okay, so that's over an 11-year period. Yeah.
Yeah. So, but that's I don't always get feedback. Sometimes there's a lot of work where they don't leave feedback. So yeah, that's my only saving grace if it's ever seen. It's like, well, there's only this. It's not the 800 plus that it could be.
Could be.
Yeah.
And do you sell anything?
No.
Okay, so you can't even do that one. It's like, oh yeah, that's probably another couple hundred of me selling something.
The occasional set where I've got a double or a triple of, I'm tempted. I might just sort of sell it, but I don't sell a lot. So
I just had this argument with the wife. These are vintage base plates, the grey ones, the roads and whatnot for my city. And I said to her, she was like, you're spending how much on them? I said, look, a pack of the new roads. I said, you get 3 plates and they're basically £20 in the UK. Right? Now, I got all these plates for the price of a couple of boxes of the new plates. I said, what would you rather? I have 2 boxes of the new one or all of this, which I could build, again, another city if I wished, if you like, because I've got the foundations here. And she's like, no, okay, so I'm with you on that one. Sometimes you've got to diverse the cost because, Lego is expensive, especially when you look at, to convert to these new roads. What would it cost you to do a city? It's got to be, an extra £200-300 to convert it to the new roads now, surely.
To convert it would, but, hopefully you can integrate them and use
the plates you've got, I still like them. I've not progressed to them yet, so
I've had these ones came out. They had a very short lifespan, 2002 to 2003, and we bought them brand new at Target when they were on a super clearance price. Back then, I wasn't an AFOL, but I bought. I have no idea, a ton of it, a ton of the road plates in. And the excuse was that when nieces and nephews come over and when we have potential kids later on, that they would get to play with them. This is before Kelly and I got married, actually. So yeah, so we bought a heap of them, and now I'm like, what, coming up to 17, 18, whatever years. Yeah, I'll build a city using them. So, they've been an investment, I guess, for that long.
Yeah.
So, yeah. And because they're only in that like 1 to 2 year period, it's like not an easy one to find if I need more. So, yeah. The only thing I regret not getting the crossovers, the 4 cross.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I'm sure I'll be able to find those. And because they're old grey as well, they make the road look a bit different too.
Yeah.
Because there's so much of the new grey, the new dark grey. It makes the old grey pop. So
Yeah.
I like that.
Because when you're showing in between that new fire station and everything you're building, are they not the new plates?
No.
They're the old ones.
The road.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's old. That's the old stuff. That's
Okay.
early 2000s. So yeah, I've got a heap. I've got some on there already, but I've got a heap of it that I haven't used yet. I say a heap, but I got a bit. So that style there.
Yeah.
So it's got the yellow, but I cover them with tile, so you don't see the yellow. Just a smidgen of the yellow.
Yeah.
So a couple of the T intersections left. Got 3 of the straights left.
Yeah.
And I think I've got 6 of the curves. I don't know if I'll use the curves or not yet. We'll see how we go.
Nice. It's nice to see more vintage ones, Steve. You know, not everyone moving over to these new ones.
Well, I'm hoping to utilise both, but at this point, I like the crossover, so like the crossing between. So I'm using that as like a speed bump / crossing, and I've got the other option with those new those raised or 1 by 2 by 16, I don't know what they are. 16 by 16 by 2, I think that's what the term would be for the plates. You can use them for so many things. They could work for like a roof of a building as well, to be honest. They don't just have to be a road. Because they're not.
That was my argument. The fact that they've got the clutch power on the bottom, you could now use that as a modular roof.
Yeah.
Building and use to build levels. That's why I went with vintage plates, because
they're stronger than the flimsy 16 by 16 plate.
Well, that's it.
That feel pretty good. Better than the base plate. I'm like, these are just random ones that I was using, and I'll just put them back away. It's good to have spare parts, isn't it? So
yeah.
I'll do a room tour at some point. I don't know when I can be bothered.
I've been saying that for 5 months, Steve, and I'm still not set up in here.
Yeah. Well, I'm happy with how the layout is, but it still sometimes takes me 2 minutes to find a part. And if it takes me 2 minutes to find a part, it's not very it's not as efficient as it should be. So you need to have access to that part straight away while the moment's there, and you've got the thought of what you want to build. You don't want
inspiration.
Yeah, you want to build straight away, but you also need to have parts put away so that the room isn't just a bomb site. So pretty much.
Yeah, I was bored earlier. You say about sitting with. I got the trans blue at the top and just the white and red panels, but with the old style green Lego, the thick base plates.
Yep.
Yeah, if I move these off of here, I was going through my collection of these, and look, turns out that I've got a few more of them as well.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I've got a few of those, but they're not as easy to get as you would have thought.
Yeah.
Wow, there's a puppet sighting in the chat.
Hey, Doug, how you going?
I have to be careful what I say about the good doctor, because we're collaborating to take down Sands and someone else.
Oh,
I don't know if we're allowed to promote this yet or not, but yeah, it's the word debate will be loosely used. The term debate will be loosely used. I think it's more just attack on the person with some random relevant topics. That's my line of debating anyway. I enjoy debating because it's not just about the topic; it's about how quickly you can make your opponent feel like they don't deserve to win. I'm a horrible person when it comes to debating.
No, not at all. So,
it's always fun when you make it grow.
If you want to jump on for a few minutes, there's a link in the chat. If not, that's cool. But, what are you saying?
We can discuss his views on the 72-hour stream. Blue? What's blue? What's this blue thing?
Blue.
The debate will be blue.
Big blue. I don't know.
I don't think it's possible for Sans to have a debate without using that sort of language. So, a link in the chat. So if you scroll up a little bit, Doc.
There's a link. Yeah, I just opted for the Steve Reynolds method of just putting it in there and hoping for the best. I've just popped it in again.
2 seconds.
I don't want to say lazy man streaming, but he's an Australian, so it makes sense.
Look, I just flog everybody's good lazy ideas. Like, I think, yeah, because Kevin Hinkle, when he was doing his streams, rather than getting people individually invites, he just had an email list and just send it out. So it's like, look, I'm streaming. Here's a link. If you want to come in, come on, whatever. Like,
I know you've done that before.
Oh, sorry. Yeah. You were on that list.
I was, yeah. Yeah, it's like awkward timing because you're still in that pommy time zone. Can I say that, Brett, without offending you? Those dirty stinking poms. Can I say that? Or is that too offensive? Brett's not there, so he's not taking offense.
I think he's on mute. He might not realize.
Your lovely UK audience. Yeah. Well, we're in Australia here, so we have to say poms because it is what it is. It's funny. I bet you don't use the term over there, Matt, do you?
No, not particularly. I mean, the first thing is it would require you to actually see people, which at the moment is a bit of an issue.
Yeah, we forget. I mean, I feel like a Ferris Bueller moment here. How am I expected to face the day when it looks like this?
Let me just pop that up there a little bit bigger. Yeah. Oh, blue sky. I haven't seen you in 6 months, literally.
Yeah, it's horrible, isn't it? A horrible thing.
No, that is the one thing I struggle with and I miss the most. It's just seeing the blue sky, because I think seriously we saw it like once last week, and then prior to that it's probably 3 months beforehand, something of that. So, and it just messes with your just your not so much your mindset, but just, you know, when you don't see that crisp blue sky, it's like, oh yeah, it's kind of.
It does affect the mood. It is a condition. It is a condition. The weather, especially in the UK, people get sad from it because it's always.
Well, doesn't it cause pastiness of the skin? Is that why you guys, whenever you see the sun, Brett, you guys like turn into red lobsters because you're not used to it?
But in my defense, buddy, I actually turn brown, so no.
Oh, there you go. You must have some Mediterranean in you. But being in Victoria, like the blue sky, the sun, we don't get that all year round. But we get it for longer than the UK does, obviously, because it's funny to say that.
No, it's true. Like, it's funny because I got family sort of up in Brisbane and also Sydney and things like that. And in winter, it's like, winter, they're still like 24, 25. Like
yeah, Queensland is this. This is I'm wearing shorts and I can say thongs. Do you guys wear thongs over there? Are they jandals or are they flip flops or?
I think they're meant to be flip flops. I don't know. Whatever.
Yeah, I got shorts and thongs on today. So
I've got to ask, are you one of those that wear socks with Crocs?
No. I've just got. Where are we? Where's the camera?
You just got sliders on. Okay.
Yeah.
Yep.
I've got a spare pair under there just in case. But these are me going out ones.
Yeah. The designer ones. I like that.
Designer. No, I reckon they're both 20 years old. These things we don't use them too often. So normally I just wear socks inside. So how's the build going? You got
So it's good. It's pretty much done. But now I'm just trying the pneumatics.
With the pneumatics, Mr. Elder.
And yeah, that's what the squeaking is. And I don't know whether there's an outside chance I've either done it wrong, which is a little unlikely given that there's next to nothing here, or this doesn't work, which is another possibility. It's like I'm probably hearing it.
You can hear it. There's a lot of squeakiness.
Yeah, that's obviously the air going somewhere. And hello to Brick Scene. I'm in more of a how did a slip man myself.
And for those in the US, the terminology for that is Adidas. Adidas. But,
Adidas.
You know,
Adidas.
I know Matt grew up in Australia, so it's Adidas.
However they pronounce it, I don't know. Yeah.
And Brett, I think growing up in the UK, they would have been fancy footwear.
Oh, buddy, don't go there.
No, I've seen, all the I can't remember what they're called. In the 90s, there was a lot of the UK rappers and stuff. No, I love my Air Max as well.
That there is.
They are the most cushiony shoes.
Christmas order. I've worn them outside once since Christmas because,
Really?
like Matt says, the weather is atrocious. Why wear new shoes outside when it's crappy weather? You just don't do it.
I've only got two brands of shoes that I like to wear. One is Nike Air Max, and the other one is Merrell. I don't know if you've heard of Merrell, but they are the best walking shoes. So, very comfortable.
Well, just like you, Steve. My financial backer bought me a motorbike, and at that point, I wear motorbike boots more than I wear trainers now. So my trainers last a lot longer.
Yeah, absolutely. So, yeah, I find that too. I don't have the motivation to go out and use those runners for anything. What they're designed for, they're just a comfortable shoe to wear. So
that's it. That's it. You spend enough time on your feet all day, so why should you not have something that's comfortable?
I don't really. This is how I get this luxurious physique. So I say luxurious because it's very soft. Yeah. The other thing too, when you buy these sort of things, I've got a few different things like this.
Oh, buddy! Did you not look at the city set? It was not much more.
No, I've got a few from older as well.
I looked at the new city set. It's £90 over here.
That one as well. That's an older one. I think.
That's the one that Sloth's just got. I think that one's cushiony.
And the beauty of them, like you can build three different types. But for me, because where I'm planning to place them, I sort of don't mind them being open at the back. Like I've left these two open. Any buildings that go in the middle have to be full modular, have to be obviously all covered. But it's good to have things that Mason can play with on the outside.
Well, that's it. So, like you say, you can interact from the back. You're not worrying that he's going to pull half the roof off to get in there.
Yeah.
When I did the modular, I purely did it for the basis of having the carpool at the back. And if I turn the camera, the carpool at the back here, so that the owner could drive in, and then it's the restaurant on the ground floor, and then it's the housing and veranda on the top floors. But I have to go all the way round.
A lot more city-like then, isn't it, Brett? Using it more as a city then. So you've actually got, you've got something going on at the front of the building, and then there's housing at the top of it.
Yeah. I just as I say, this was the Jurassic house at one point and a friend set.
Yeah.
And I took it apart and built it till I was happy with it. Now I'm happy with it. It will stay as is. I've obviously got a modular the levels because it's pinned down, Steve, because I wanted it solid.
Yeah.
Before I made it so that it was sectionable. But yeah, it's a solid build. You know, it didn't kill me on parts. But yeah, I like the idea of living up the top, shop down the bottom with a bit of space at the back. There is actually a cash machine in there as well. Not that you can see it, but it's in there. And that's in case the patrons run out of money, they go to the cash point at the back. But yeah, just like you say, you've got to leave it. I can't access it, but I can access the middle level, in which case I could put people in there if I need to. Because I've got them two, well, got the whole level there and I've got the two spaces there. But access is key. When you're building a proper modular, you've got to be able to get to it all. Because taking them apart is just hard work. They do end up breaking and yeah.
Yeah.
But that's
for those
different.
things where you need to get access inside, definitely, use your tiles and your jumper plates just to give easy access.
That's
but
it.
Yeah, for things that you don't want opened up, yeah, it's funny. I had the overnight. I didn't realize last night it was clear, but this morning I come in and Harley Quinn was in the jail, and I'm like, Mason, did you put Harley Quinn in? He's like, yep. She was naughty. She went in the jail. I'm like, dude, let me finish before you start playing. I want them to be more a part of the building process, but they're not super keen. So I might give Mason a section there. He can have Mason Town. I don't know. Doc says Nike over Nike. Yeah, we say Nike.
I say Nike.
I'd probably go, yeah, either or. Not really that much difference.
They're shoes, seriously.
Yeah. The shoes, you're paying for the swoosh more than anything.
Yeah, so, no, you're paying tax more than anything, Mr. Elder. Let's get it right.
Right, that too.
I should actually say, for Brickscene though, it would definitely be Jangles over there, wouldn't it? In Kiwi land. So I'm thinking, hang on, no, he's definitely Jangles. We've got a lot of New Zealand friends over here, and yeah. For them, it's
I apologise for keep laughing. That's Mr. Elder with that Pneumatic. Every time it just reminds me of me being a kid and sitting there for about an hour doing what he's doing.
Well,
the only difference is it's not working. So.
See, I see that it says family bricks, so I'm like, don't say it, Steve, don't say it. He's got a pump going on there, kids, to get the air through.
He's got a pump that needs some oil.
Well, it was an eBay one, so this is the first time I built it, and yeah, it's probably, I don't know if the pneumatics are shot to begin with, or I've done something wrong.
You've got to think, what are they? They're well over they've got to be 30 years old, the Pneumatics?
I think that
25.
Yeah. You'd think early 80s at the earliest, maybe 70s.
Early 80s. No, it's definitely not 70s. But yeah, so
yeah.
What's that? Yeah, be touching 40 years.
Yeah. It's, we take it for granted sometimes that some of this stuff is that old.
Yeah. I mean, that's the with whatever that new music thing which got announced today, because it's all digital based and things like that. It's like, yeah, how long is that actually going to last? Because we managed to get some of the Lego Movie 2, like the Movie Maker kit, which was, that's got an app with it, and we turned it on or whatever, and it's like, oh yeah, we're discontinuing this app from the 31st of March. It's like, okay, well, it was only out a couple of years ago. Like,
they don't want to support the program anymore because they've moved on.
Yeah. So then, okay, you're left with a toy where its main function is no longer able to be used.
Yeah.
And, I keep getting messages from Adobe. I keep getting messages from Adobe about things aren't supported anymore. I'm like, it's computer stuff. Like I'm supposed to understand that.
Yeah.
Means you got apps that are outdated and need updating.
No, apparently they don't support the program anymore. So, oh well, it still runs as long as it runs.
See, you
Yeah,
say
no, I
about
think with the way Lego's doing it is it's not that it's not going to be supported, it's just not going to be there at all. So if come April 1st, if you try to turn the app on, it's probably going to commit suicide and just actually not work in its entirety.
So the app should still work. It's just that there's no upgrades to it. Yeah, it's funny. I'm just seeing. We're talking about Lego Movie 2 and stuff. I'm still seeing Lego Movie 2 sets in the shops. I thought that would have been long.
We get them. It's almost like they're holding them in like a warehouse or something, and then because they've pretty much all been retired. So why they? Yeah. But I'm gonna have to say that this is what not to do. What's Brixine saying? It'll last as long as Lego Movie 2 and Hidden Side. Yes, same over, still not on clearance. Yeah. Brixine, if you want to jump in, you're more than welcome to. There's a link in the chat there. Otherwise, yeah, don't have to.
I mean, again, I'm grateful with the apps that the trains are still powered by controllers and they didn't force us on to act with that. Because again, if they did that, like you say with the apps, especially with the fact that Hidden Side's gone out. Sorry, Steve.
Is it Power Up? Power Up,
yeah,
I think.
Yeah. Yep. See, I've used that, but I've also got the controllers for the train, and I'm glad to have the physical controllers because how long is it before they take the Hidden Side app down now that you can no longer buy that? Like you say with the Lego 2 Movie Maker, if it's out of date already, then the Hidden Side's only going to be 6 months before it goes the same way.
Yeah.
Straight away, you can't use that. But I'm glad they never forced it on the train people because I like having the individual controllers for the individual trains. I have used the mobile version, and yes, it's fun as an option. But if it was forced on me, I think I would give up on the Lego train idea. Do you get what I'm saying, guys? It's not for me.
The biggest problem is that you need to run them while the app's still open. So you can't answer the phone. And, if you're doing an exhibition and you're using these functions, it's really awkward. So when I had my roller coaster, that was all through Power Up. So we used the app on the iPad. And I had the music, and it was great. Oh, sorry, the boost system I had. That was great. Could use music and everything, sensor, all that stuff. But you need to have the actual app open on a device. It was a pain. I used my my iPad for the whole time we had it going, for the whole exhibition. So
that's why I like the physical remotes, and it should stay.
So do you have to turn those to get that to go up and down? Are they on links? Are they using Technic links on that?
Yeah. You've in the center you've got the main pneumatic pump, and as it goes up, allegedly, it will sort of, it's meant to sort of turn the cog, which then has the links on it.
What links is it using?
Sorry, which?
Yeah, what links are they using? Because that's an older style. What links are they?
Yeah, they're using most of it is, let's sort of see if it's the narrow ones. So that's the majority of it. But then the way it...
Sorry, Matt, has that link been around for that long, has it?
Yeah.
And
then you have like actually hooking into the Technic bricks is just one of
you need to go on the screen for a second.
So it's a combination of both of them. So they've both been around that long. But it's really funny because these are like the new current ones, which you can tell is quite. It's got a really rubbery feel to it, whereas the older style ones, like exact same product, but it's got a much more of a hard plastic feel to it. So they've obviously changed. I'd say they've changed the actual rubber compound that they're using in those long link chains because it feels very different.
I thought it would be an older style link that I've never seen before, but it's not.
No.
I got these, and I thought they were really cool. I still have an idea for a mock with them, so I won't go into too much detail. But I'd never seen these before, and then so I can get the end of it. I've got quite a bit of it.
I have seen this before, Steve. I believe when we was talking about your roller coaster, is that correct?
Yeah, this is they've actually got studs on the mat. Have you seen these ones?
Let me just put that up there. What's that? What's studs on them?
Studs on them.
No, I don't think so.
So, yeah, I've got quite a bit. Because, like I said, I had an idea for a mock for these. Yeah, got a bit of it now. Yeah, because they run off the old system. So try and get that.
Yeah,
So, but it still connects because it's got the Technic.
The Technic hole in it.
Yeah, so you still use it with current system, or Technic. Sorry, you still use it with Technic. It works fine. So, but the thing is, you can actually put elements on them. So if you want to run a person along a travelator, yeah, you can do it. So, might be a good option for if I want to do like a mall or something, I guess.
Yeah,
that's part of the thought process for my city. Have like a giant open mall sort of thing.
Because I did a Lego Ideas thing, which is basically the Nintendo TV, a while ago. So I experimented around with a lot of these. But even these common sort of links or whatever, you can put on top of it like a 1x4.
Yep.
So, that's like another option of things you can do. But yeah, it's and the ones which I used on the Nintendo TV, like idea I had, is similar to what they were using. Although they've now designed a new part which takes, it's just more stable. But yeah, whatever.
You also put the bars in those as well. So if you want them to trigger certain things along the way, that's an option too. So if it's meant to, if you've got a sensor or something and you want it to trigger, you've got a bar that can connect and it just catches the eye of the sensor.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can make magic happen.
I've got to say, magic's happening Saturday at 7:00, Steve, on Matt's channel because.
Oh, I thought that's all right. I thought you were talking about your weekly.
No,
for a second there.
Mr. Elder,
global advertising.
He's subsidising one of the draw streams, and me and Matt, I'm going to sit in the chat for him and moderate, and he's going to build the monorail.
Nice. I jump on when I can. Yeah, because of that distance, the time and stuff. I like to catch up with Matt's streams when I can, and also Greg's stream. It's always tune in, like there's like 10 minutes to go. It's just because of the time. It's a Saturday morning. I'm like, come on, mate. I can't be getting up at 5:00 in the morning on a Saturday. This is just not on. So.
I mean, this up until March, this is the best time because what is it? I think it's 11 hours difference, so it makes it more sociable. But when it chops back down to 9 hours difference over the Australian winter, that's much more difficult to deal with.
Hey, there's a celebrity in the chat. Hello, Kevin.
Oh, Kevin's back.
No. You can join, Kevin.
Be careful, Steve. Be careful. Wow. Mr. Hinkle's been on a lot of streams just as of recent.
That's not nice. It's not like it's bionicle. There's a topic.
Oh,
There's a weird topic to get into.
Trigger a few people.
I'm just going to say, oh, hang on a sec. Had a figure fall off. Pretty clear who I voted for, is all I'm going to say.
oh, look, flex.
Pretty clear as to what theme I'd love to see a return of. I didn't bring my...
Steve, them red and black pieces are like unicorn horns. They truly are.
Are they? Oh.
Yeah. Why, do you have a stack of them that you need to part with?
No, I've got
just a few for the castle, happily.
I think I've got some yellow and black ones from the Black Falcon Fortress. I've got 2 of that outside. I bought those when they were legends in 2000 or 99 or something, when they came back. I had one as a kid, but that got given away. So the good thing about that, it's all old grey and the old dark grey. So yeah, as long as you've got the parts, you don't have to worry about it.
This is the problem I've got, Steve, with the big castle that's sitting over the back. I've actually run out of castle parts, and because it's one of the ideas choices at the moment, I happen to look on eBay. 10 castle pieces is £80. At the moment, I cannot be buying castle pieces.
No,
so
castle's not cheap.
Yeah, I've got to focus on elsewhere. But no, it's good to know you got some castle. Fair play. I like the vintage castle.
Yeah. Kevin says it's his farewell tour. I don't believe it.
Come on. The link's in the chat. Come on, Kevin.
It's his farewell tour for this hour, maybe. Next hour. You know, I've got a few of the Knights Kingdom stuff outside as well. So with that raised base plate.
Yeah, I've got that. Can you see the red dragon in the background, Steve?
I can. I have that red dragon too. He's over here.
Yeah, that one's my son's. I bought him the set. Again, I've got down the end of the room, I've got the castle base plate of his. But no, I spoke to him at the beginning of the build and I said, look, mate, I'm not being funny. Can I borrow your parts? And he's like, yeah, of course you can, Dad. So he sort of collabed with me on this one because, a lot of it was his custom castle that I'd built him.
Yeah, I've got a 16-year-old, and if I went to borrow his parts, he'd be like, smack my hand away. They're all Star Wars anyway. Who wants Star Wars? Who needs Star Wars?
I mean, if you're building anything grey, you're set.
And white, I guess. He's got... One day I'm going to have to upload some photos on Instagram of his collection.
You have shown his Star Wars collection before, Steve.
Yeah, he's... I showed...
backstage, but you definitely showed us some of his vehicles before. I think Solo was there. I think Solo was there. I think Solo Brick Builder was there. That's why you were showing.
Oh yeah. I might have had the laptop on at that point. Now he's for a 16-year-old. He's got a pretty decent collection of Lego. So a few UCS sets. So yeah. I'm hoping that he goes into Dark Ages and says, I don't want Lego anymore. And I'm like, I suddenly have a Star Wars collection. But no.
Sweet.
Anything Star Wars in this house tends to go towards him. So I might have a blaster or two in here somewhere, but I don't know. I made my choice. Superheroes.
That's it. There's too many themes to have a taste of everything, unfortunately.
Yeah, stick to one and build a wall of superheroes. That's the way I looked at it. I've run out of space. Need more space. So 720 spaces wasn't enough for my figures, for the different superhero figures.
Yeah, I tried to convince myself we're going to knock down the house and redo it, and it's sort of like, it'll be bigger. I'll have more space for Lego. Somehow I don't think it's going to work out that way, though.
The two big cabinets I used to have in my old Lego room, getting them into the front room, we would have had to have opened, taken brought them in through the front window, and they're too heavy. So I could have, called forth the Lego unit, the Lego minions out there and come and help me move, but didn't really want to do that. And when the wife suggested, maybe putting them up in the family area where we have the meals, I'm like, so you're saying I don't need to bring those two things into this room, therefore allowing me to have a big space in the center for a city? I love that idea. It means I don't have, I don't have a dinosaur to just go and grab and pull, play with, all my UCS Batmobiles or any of that stuff. Ghostbusters headquarters. She's got all the cool stuff, and she just added the bonsai in there as well. But it's good that there's she's accepting Lego.
Accepting of it. She's been worn down.
Honestly, I think I've broken her. To be honest, I think I've broken her. It's taken years, but she's broken.
So finally got there.
Yeah.
I have that dilemma, Steve. You know the set that you just showed, the town set, the new one you just showed.
Yep.
Right. Me and Mrs. Brett have just hit 4-year anniversary, and she gave me a limit of £60. Now, the only building I can buy is the one that you showed, but I don't want that one. I want the city. And I have held out since the beginning of January. And I'm still holding out on the hopes of getting that city set. I will get it eventually. It's just taking time. But yeah, again, at the moment in the UK, a lot of places have not got any Lego.
You don't blame it either. What else are people going to do if they're in lockdowns and stuff? So I was actually, when I tuned in, I had YouTube on one channel. So I was watching Matt and Brett here. I was watching you guys on one channel. And on the other screen, I had ABC News. And they had your old mate Boris on there. And they went through the first stage where there were 4 deaths. And then there was 10,000. And it was coming out. And this is not an attack on anybody, because this is not anything anyone can control. But the fact that then it hit 100,000, and they're going through all the stages of where it was hitting and how it hit. And I know Kevin and everyone else that's in the US that's watching are going through just as much pain, if not considerably more, because of the population they have. But yeah, we're very lucky out here. We don't have it in the community. So
it's just a different world. It's sort of like, what was it like? You get places where it's like, we haven't had a case in 100 days, and it's like, yeah, we get that in about 2 minutes. Like,
yeah, and a different season too. So at its worst here for us was the middle of winter, and we had something like 700 cases a day. And that's still a lot when you look at the population of our state. So
well, it's the sort of thing where the UK is only, and I say only, it's about 3 times the population of Australia, but in the space of about Victoria. So.
Yeah, no, that's true. We have that space to socially distance. So well,
I think our geniuses only figured out that maybe last week they should close down the airports to international travel.
Yeah.
Well, 10 months too late, but yeah, okay, good progress.
Well, our genius is trying to open them all up again, and I'm like, no, don't do that, Scotty. We don't want that. Look, I'm a Labor voter, so the Liberal and Labor, the Liberal voters over here are different to the Liberals in the US. They're a lot more conservative, and they're more your what do they call them? The TOF? No, Tories.
Republicans. Sorry, yeah.
And the Republicans in the US. That's what our Liberals are over here. So yeah, Kevin says he was told he would go away like a miracle. Wasn't it just a common flu as well? Yeah, look, I couldn't have voted that guy out any faster if I was in your country. Yeah, especially I would have loved to have seen Bernie in there though. I think Bernie is so progressive. Yeah, I don't think he would have lasted the distance anyway. I think there's too many people that would have been able to get him if Bernie got in. His views are seen as radical, but I actually see them as humane, and there to support your fellow man. Wow. I don't know what communism is, but I feel like, I might be sprouting a little bit of it now. I just want people to feel safe. That's all.
And tomorrow on Politics Weekly, we will be discussing.
I know.
Mr. Hinkle brings the business aspect to everything.
I think I need to do a fart joke or something just to get us back on track.
Back on track or something.
Hang on,
Yeah,
Dad's not here anymore, but oh my gosh. Bernie's support of it. Yeah, agree. I think those that have any empathy for their fellow man would look at what Bernie was offering and thinking, this is the benefit of the community. So, my gosh, he's coming out with all these thoughts of being a human being that has compassion for others. This is not right. Quick, chuck me on Livestream or something.
You've been locked up by yourself for way too long.
No, we're open and out here. We can do what we like. So kids are back at school tomorrow. Yes. Well, two of them are. So
that's the thing.
Kevin, jump in. Come in and have a chat. We'll talk about all things not Lego. It's not a Lego stream.
I just try to steer away from Lego conversation at all costs. Yeah, well, I think we're oscillating completely the opposite way. It's like politics, everything. We just need to throw in a sprinkling of religion, and we'll have had the chance to offend everyone.
I'm not going there. Yeah. We're just waiting for
Steve. I love the way it was the host that brought up religion.
Yes, he did. Brett, we're just waiting for Matt to get his act together and be able to actually get these things to pump properly. So we're going to steer away from the technical side.
It's not going to happen.
I think bricks was slow.
Well, I think it could be like divided into the two sort of things when it's like, this late at night or something. It's like, there's the more the PG sort of stream, and then there's the other one.
The malfunctioning technique, yeah.
Situation normal for Matt. I think the main, I don't know what they call it, actuator or whatever, this is so stiff that there's like, to pull it with your fingers is really difficult, and everything I'm saying could be construed in a bad innuendo way. It's
I'm thinking WD-40 or
something like that.
3-in-1 oil.
Some silicone.
If you try to blow into it, it's not going to happen. So
Matt, you're not making this easier on us.
It's like just throwing out all this bait. And Steve's given up the ghost.
No, I believe he's got company, Mr. Elder. But Mr. Inkle's asking how much longer you're going for. I think you should come in, Kevin. I think that would be absolutely fabulous.
Yeah, come in.
Do it for about another 10 minutes or so, I think, because it's pushing up against 1 and all the kids tomorrow. So
yeah.
You get 5 minutes to talk about Bernie. Imagine if Bernie was the president. You've got all these Weekend at Bernie style jokes they could have had. They've given it away. The media could have abused that. The wife's just coming in before just to check on something. So.
No. As soon as that happens, it's like, okay, no.
She's meant to be working, so I'm like, get back to work.
I saw the door go, Steve, behind you.
Yeah, I felt the coldness on the back of my neck. She doesn't watch these things, so I'm safe. I won't be watching and cutting and sending. I will not be impressed. I might turn on my teammate.
Oh, and speak of the devil.
You said 10 minutes, right?
Yeah.
9 now, Kevin. 9 now.
Wow, even better.
Hey, Kev.
What's up, Steve? What's up, Brett? What's up, Matt?
All good, man.
Matt, I know you already called it out yourself, so it's not quite as satisfying. But you being like, this thing's too stiff. I can't even pull it with my fingers. And when I try blowing on it, it's not helping. What on earth are you like? I'm sitting there like, wow. Is this an SNL skit?
It's after midnight here, so it's.
Matt, I recommend you don't watch the next virtual news, buddy.
Family Greeks is different in the after hours sessions.
And you know what? You showing that just made me realize that when you went through that whole conversation, you weren't even showing on camera anything you were talking about. So you're just like going. I'm like, I didn't know until right now when you showed that like pump.
And there was some weird hand movements, Matt. So, in all honesty, it was.
Well, how's the?
Yeah, that's it.
So yeah, indeed.
Is this helping?
It's doing something.
I think the lube you're looking for isn't there. You need to find it in another way.
It's in a different castle.
It's not self-lubing. You'll have to.
Oh, darn it.
My. Isn't this? So are you going to like do streams every day, Matt? Is that the thing?
No, I don't think I'll do every day. It's sort of, I think
we're 2 for 2 though.
No, I didn't do anything yesterday. It was the day before. Although it might be the same.
Was it?
Yeah.
Are you sure?
Probably, just trying to think. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Because, last night I was building something else off camera. So, no, it's definitely the night before. So
wow, okay, that makes me question all time and reality. I could have sworn that was yesterday. I thought that was what? Okay.
Corona's getting inside everyone's heads.
Man,
I think so. I'm pretty sure it was the. I just put it down to lockdown. Like, you just have no idea what day it is anymore. The main thing is you get up in the morning. Do the kids have school? Yep. Okay, so it's this routine today.
Yeah, that was the car, the little like the ideas car thing. That wasn't yesterday.
Yeah. Oh no, that was like 6 months ago. This is March. It's March. Are you aware of the date?
I actually. I will be excited when March finally arrives because I've been stuck in March 2020 for an entire year. So when March 2021 happens, I think
you can open your eyes and wake up, and it was just a bad dream.
I think the space-time continuum folds in on itself, and then it realigns. I think that's how it works.
I've been watching a lot of Community at the moment, so I'm very familiar with Abed's thoughts on space-time continuum. So, yeah.
Uh-oh.
Something's folded in on itself.
Well, this is now our program. Well, and so welcome in, everybody.
Due to technical difficulties.
So we've got a Pom. So there's a joke here. A Pom, a Yank, and an Aussie walk into a pub. We get drunk and then we leave. Is that how it works? I don't know.
Well, the best part is if we all leave, I do think it's like 10 minutes before it shuts off automatically. So it just sits blanks. It's a black blank space for 10 minutes.
And the thing is, he promised it would only go for 10 more minutes.
That's true. We would be doing a disservice if we stayed a second more.
Yeah, we would, wouldn't we? Yeah.
This is interesting.
Maybe he's fed up with the Technic and gone to look for some that works.
He's upgrading his system.
Well.
So, can I ask Brickvention? Did you guys see Brickvention last week? Before last week? I don't know where we're at.
That happened. That occurred.
Did you see that at all?
No, I didn't.
There's a website.
Yeah, it was all online, wasn't it?
Yeah. I don't think we got a lot of the newer style builds that people would have done if it was an in show. I think people hold back. I know I did. I wasn't really.
Yeah, I think. I mean, I don't know for sure, and everybody's different. But I feel like
Oh, hang on. We've got some stuff in the stream there where Matt says StreamYard has advised it's an issue and kicked me out. Enjoy my stream.
Oh, that's weird.
Internet. We could stick around for a couple of minutes if you want to try, Matt, and sort of see. But yeah, Kev's on a clock. You're only paying for 10 minutes here.
Yeah, that's it. That's all I'm paid up.
He's not committing to overtime.
No, not in this economy.
What about the green room?
It's like afternoon for you guys over there, Kev? Is it like 5 or 6?
It's 7:40 at night.
Oh, there you go.
So it's not bad. But I'm pretty strict about hitting bed at like 10:30. So it's near the end of the day. That's for sure.
And he's on Arvo rates, guys. So just remember that. They are the afternoon shift. They get a higher rate. So
that is true. I was just saying. I think most people, if they don't have a goal or a timetable to build to, just won't. I think there was a lot of chatter in the first couple of months, like this is going to be great. Everyone's going to have. They're going to have building bonanza. And I'm like, I'm not subscribing to that plan. I think more so you're going to have people not building because there's nothing to build to.
Yeah, it's the end goal at the end of the day. If you don't have that goal, it's really hard to commit to, isn't it?
Oh, we have a new guest.
Yeah. I'll just welcome myself to my own stream.
Yeah. What we need now, Mr. Elder, is a picture of you kicking the router.
That's weird.
Yeah, the last I had was Kevin, and he started talking in robot, and I had no idea. And then all of a sudden, like StreamYard's like, "Oh, there's a problem. Bye bye." It's like,
there's a problem. Well, the joke is, I did start talking to robot.
He did. He was even doing the moves.
Isn't that weird?
I can't sell it. I can't pretend. I can't do the robot. I can do the blob. That's where you just sort of you put your arms down and you move. Like that. That's pretty much my dance moves right there.
There you have it, folks.
There you go.
You know, the only way I can get on a dance floor is if it's a basketball court and you give me a basketball and that ball's going between the legs. The point guard in me is like, here we go. We're on for show. I'll dribble around you. That's all I'll do. Yeah. It's like running.
And then what does the Homer Simpson in you start doing then?
Probably looking at the donuts over there, thinking,
Are those for every player?
Yeah, I need that energy kick. I've been out here for 20 seconds.
I don't even think I could stumble back to the sideline and to get them.
Carry me. I've pulled a throw.
Yeah, pulled a homer and in goes the basket.
We're going back old school Simpsons here.
That's the only one that actually mattered, though.
That was Magic Johnson. That's how old that is. Magic Johnson was still playing.
Yeah, that was. It's funny we're going and seeing some of those old, like that first season and some of the things because the kids have started to get into it, and being a cartoon, they love it, but then they've got zero clue about all these things.
So they just started getting into The Simpsons now in 2021.
Yeah, it's been sort of mainly because we've got Disney Plus. Like when it was just on randomly on TV, but they can now sit there and just plug through it because that's what they like to do. They just binge watch everything. So it's like, okay, just watch whole of Spider-Man animated series, like 3 of them, then into the Iron Man, and then they've discovered the Simpsons. Because I tried to get them into that years ago, and they're just like, what is it? And even we got the Lego Simpsons house, I think a year or 2 ago, and they're sort of like, and here's the mum character, and here's the dad character, and it's just like they don't even know the names.
Matt, people come to these things in their own time. I've been binge watching Community, so Kevin, I don't know if you've seen that or not. I'm assuming you would have seen.
I haven't watched the whole series, but I've seen periodic episodes.
Well, I'm in season 5, and there's no more Chevy. Chevy's gone.
Oh yeah. I forgot he was in that.
But Ken's still there. Ken Jeong, Leslie Chow from the Hangover. Kids, if you haven't seen the Hangover, definitely rent a copy of it and get that into your system as quickly as you turn 18.
That's a great way to talk about watching a piece of content. Get that in your system as fast as you can.
Yeah. As soon as that 18 number ticks over, get that into your system.
Get that in your system. Forget this oral stuff. Direct injection.
See, you took it there, Matt. Nobody else took it there.
No, I just innocently make comments, and you guys seem to just have this mind to take them the wrong way.
See, someone will talk about this stream, and I'll say, that damn Aussie, and I'll go, oh, hang on, who was that?
Hold up, yeah. Can we get a clarification?
I will get the blame because I'm usually, see, that, yeah,
I mean,
absolutely.
look, he's got underscore UK in his name.
It can't be that one.
It can't be him.
No. Must be the one that has skunk. Yep. Skunk, definitely.
That's the guy.
Love it. I love it. I feel like I'm on a hive stream or something already. Steve's getting late. Steve's that damn Aussie, but actually, I can say damn, can't I? That's not a...
Well, it's already happened now.
Yeah.
So it's...
Several times, so yeah.
I think that's about as much as I can push, right? So,
Are we done now? This is finished.
I'm behaving. I'm seriously behaving. Is this program Nicolas Cage hosts on Netflix about swearing?
Yeah.
Have you guys seen that?
I haven't seen it, but I've scrolled by it.
That's pretty good.
I feel like it looks. I don't know. I've heard like two different. I've heard somebody said they loved it, and someone said it was like the worst thing they've ever seen. So I was like, well, all right.
Well, it comes down to, I guess, your I don't know, your level of tolerance for specific words. But there are words that they consider swear words, like damn. So they do like a whole. In Australia, damn is something that stops water from going from one place to another. That's all it is. We don't use it as a. We don't use it in any other context. So hearing these words is like, okay, it's just a word.
It's like much like bugger or something like that. Like, you know, in Australia it's like whatever, but UK is like people freak out. It's like, what?
Yeah, we know what there's a different definition for words in different places. Like you know, Kevin, you're rooting for your team.
Yeah.
Over here, that's not what that means.
Oh, I mean, that's not normal.
No. If you're doing that, you're you're having a great Saturday night at 7 p.m. Is that correct, Matt? Sorry, Brett.
Sorry, what's that?
Didn't you have plans for Saturday night at 7 p.m.?
Yeah, we're going to build monorail.
That's exactly what rooting means.
Okay. That's interesting. That's a very specific definition of that.
It's a monorail on a stream. That's exactly what it means.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Anyhow, for the benefit of Kevin, I think he was only in for 10 minutes, and I think I probably need to...
Everybody, it's been wonderful.
He's
So, thanks very much, guys, for popping by and saying hello and everything like that. And it's been fun. And I'll come back again next Tuesday and see the next train wreck. You know, it wouldn't be a stream if my Technic didn't work. So
train wreck. I love it.
So thanks for having me, Matt. Brent, always a pleasure. Appreciate it. And thanks to the chat as well.
Indeed.
Oh no, Doc's been around. Damn it.
You're done. You're donezo. # cancel Matt Elder.
What's the sort of thing if you go to Doc and say put it on the virtual news, he won't? So Doc, virtual news, the whole lot. Yep.
He's already cut that out. He's got the clip he wants.
You're trying to pull the reverse psychology, eh?
I'm going to come across as the angelic Aussie for once. This is good.
Oh my! I can already envision the oil painting of you with the hand sign up and the halo behind your head.
Absolutely. Yeah. And I've got doing the whole serving platter thing. If you have your hands out like this.
Yep. Yes.
I'm doing it. I'm serving.
Yeah, you are.
Sandwiches. Isn't that how it works?
All you need now is just the Halo music. It's like
get some the only Halo I think I'd be connected to is the one where I'm sitting in a warthog shooting people. I fear that's about as close.
I think if you just take the first part of that, the Halo where I'm sitting in a warthog, it's like, okay, yep.
That was enough.
Wow.
And on
that note,
thanks very much, everyone. Catch you again on the next one.